Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Monks. Good to see you. Please. And you can file that, please. No targets.
Yes, Judge.
Right, Judge, next is page.
She needs to sign anything.
Yeah, it will states when it pops up.
Because the free trial rate assistant didn't even stay and talk to her.
Page 16, Paul, come
It
on
just
up.
states.
Okay.
Have a few of them when you're up. They'll call you whenever we're ready. Yeah. Sorry. And
You are Caleb Hall.
yes, sir.
Mr. Hall, you're charged with falsifying drug test results. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 16, 2025, the officer was on Interstate Highway 10 near mile marker 753 in Harris County, Texas, when the officer observed a blue Ford Mustang with registration expired as of April 2023 and a window tint that measured at 5% transparency with a certified tint meter. A traffic stop was initiated and the officer observed an odor of marijuana, and upon search, the officer located a small bottle containing a yellow-like liquid similar to urine with a temperature gauge on the bottle. When asked about the fake urine, the defendant claimed he was selling the fake urine, then immediately changed his answer to having used the sample for a drug test for his new job.
Mr. Hall, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to smoke any marijuana. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It is a condition of your bond. If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. Can you run his license, please?
Yes, Judge, I'll run it.
You need my license, sir?
Don't.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that was what you're on it.
Right. You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
If you do not have valid liability insurance, no driving.
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, Mr. Hall? Is that Mom?
Yes, sir.
Come on up, Mom. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
How you doing?
Did you hear?
Yes, I did.
So I've ordered him as a condition of his bond not to smoke weed. He's not allowed to use marijuana. It is a condition of his bond. You will get tested.
Yes,
He
sir.
I'm
can.
going to give you enough time to clean out. You're going to get tested in 50. Stop.
Yes, sir.
Don't. I have a bunch of DAs here. Whatever you say, they're going to try to use it against you. So it's just, now's not the time to fight, talk. You will get the opportunity, just now's not the time.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, I'm going to test you around 50 something days. If you test positive again, it's not going to go well. You understand?
Yes, sir.
As if you stop as of today, then all will be well. Would you guys like a lawyer?
A court appointed, yeah, we can.
Yes, ma'am. That's okay. I will give you one today. Nothing is going to get charged to you. You're not going to pay for a dime. But I'm saying, don't smoke weed. Don't pick up any new cases, and do not drive unless you have valid liability insurance. You understand?
Yes, sir.
God forbid you get into a wreck, cause $30,000 worth of damage, and then they come after you. I see it happen all the time. You get car insurance, you're protected in that event. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. I do need you to fill an application for me. So Deputy Miranda is going to give you an application. Just fill it out for me. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. I'm going to get you with Felicia for your bond conditions, and then we'll have you talk to a lawyer here momentarily. All
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Please.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and sign for your receipt. All right, Judge, next is page 2. Alejo Lopez, come on up.
Hi. How are you? Okay.
Also a follower.
Wow. I mean, you're usually like way up there, right?
Yes, sir. But
Well, we're happy to have you.
things changed and
Okay. We're happy to have you.
Yo te voy a traducir, caballero.
Okay.
So who is this?
Page 2.
No,
Both
so-
cases.
Mr. Alejos,
Señora Alejos.
sir, you were
Sácala.
the two cases. You were charged with reckless driving.
Manejar.
You were also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon.
También cargar un arma ilegalmente.
On the weapon case, you were facing up to a year in jail
Haber recibido hasta un año en la cárcel,
and or a $4,000 fine.
que no sobrepase $4,000.
On your reckless
Y
driving,
te manejar
you were facing up to 30 days in jail
hasta
and
30
or a
días en la
$500
cárcel.
fine.
And how much
$500
fine?
fine.
Y una multa de $500.
We are going to do
Eso es lo
probable
máximo.
cause.
Vamos a oír motivos fundados en este caso.
You have the right to remain
El
silent.
derecho de permanecer callado.
Anything you say can or will be used against you.
Usar en contra de usted.
You have the right to have an attorney present.
Tener un abogado presente.
If you cannot afford one,
Puedes
one
contratar
will be
uno.
appointed to you.
Te pueden asignar uno.
Yes, Judge. On February 16th,
El 16 de
2025,
febrero 2025,
officer
los
was
oficiales
monitoring a parking lot
estaban
takeover
mirando un
at Greens Point
estacionamiento
Mall.
ahí en el mall de Greens Point.
The officer was
Y un
notified
oficial
by an
fue
undercover
notificado
officer
por otro oficial
that a
que
vehicle
un
was doing
vehículo
several donuts
estaba haciendo
near other people and
digamos,
vehicles.
manejando cerca
The officer
de otros vehículos.
Assisted with apprehension
Lo
of
oficial
an
lo
evading
asistió
vehicle,
con
the same
aprender
vehicle doing donuts,
el vehículo que se trataba de evadir,
and the officer
el mismo que
arrested the
estaba haciendo
driver,
los circos,
a co-defendant.
y arrestaron al
The defendant
conductor
was
y
the
el
passenger at the
coacusado.
time of the evading,
El acusado
but was the driver
Era
at the time of
pasajero.
the donuts.
y
according
estabas
to
manejando
the
cuando
undercover
estabas
officer.
haciendo los,
The
circos.
defendant admitted he was the
Y
operator of the
admitiste que
vehicle.
estabas manejando el
The
vehículo
defendant was then
y el
detained
acusado
and a
entonces fue
pat and frisk
detenido
was conducted
y hicieron,
where the defendant had a
escoltaron
firearm on
y
his person.
encontraron que tenías un arma,
Did you say there was an evading?
que estaban evadiendo.
There, according to the officers, there was an evading vehicle after the donuts had taken place, but a co-defendant was the driver at that time.
Había un
Yes,
vehículo que
and
estaba
they struck,
evadiendo.
I don't get,
multiple vehicles during the evading portion.
Dice
So,
que había
what is the-
múltiples
so there is a codefendant.
vehículos
There's a co-defendant, Your Honor.
que estaban evadiendo
But the
y
boss
hay
number?
un
Yes, Judge.
coacusado.
what is it?
It is
Quieren saber quién
felony
es el
case.
acusado.
It's 190-499-0.
Él lo acusaron de una felonía.
Mr. Alejos,
Señora,
I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license, please?
Son dados para tu.
I don't know what your immigration status is,
No sé cuál es tu.
but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail, and immigration finds you because they sweep it on a daily basis, they will find you, they will put an immigration detainer on you, and you will be stuck, chucked in custody until this case is over with, and then you get shipped off to immigration.
Se resuelve y después te van a mandar de.
Do you understand?
Conteste, por favor. Yes.
I will do everything in my power to protect my community at all costs.
Your Honor, no license on file.
You don't have a Texas driver's license. You are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Conteste, por favor.
You will be signing an affidavit with me today. This is a promise that you're going to make.
Diciendo que está.
I don't care if there's a burning building and 50 kittens need to be saved. If I find that you drive,
can
have a contempt hearing.
No quiero que manejes.
You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive.
Hacerle una multa de $500.
Do you understand?
¿Se entendió? Yes.
Do you know what the relation of the co-defendant is to our,
They appear to be related. They both share the same last name, but we don't have any confirmation of that.
No, quiero saber si está relacionado, no digas nada porque tienen el mismo apellido los dos, pero no tienen ninguna confirmación diciendo que es.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons as well.
de tu fianza, no puedes estar en ninguna posesión de ninguna arma o ninguna arma de fuego.
You have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Alejos.
Not at the moment.
I will have you fill an application
Ah,
and I will take a look at it. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the co-defendant in this case.
No tengas ningún contacto con el coacusado en este caso. Va a ser como condición de tu fianza.
If you violate these conditions, like I said, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail,
La fianza.
no more PR bonds. And if you're unlucky, you're going to be in custody for a very long time.
A la suerte.
All I'm asking you to do is keep my county safe. Do
Solo
not pick up any new cases.
no abre ningún caso nuevo para mantener este condado seguro. ¿Entiendes?
All right, Deputy Miranda will give you an application for an appointed lawyer. I will have you I'll have you sign a wreath of Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box.
Una declaración mural que estás
Judge,
diciendo que no vas a
next is
manejar y que
another
sabes
Spanish
que no puedes
arraignment.
manejar. ¿Entiendes?
Page 8.
Sí.
Sean, come on up.
Aquí. Sí. Raise your hand. Alza la mano derecha. Y somos confiados.
Yeah. No driving,
Driving, no weapons, and
no weapons, and no.
Yes, Judge.
It's a Chan, C-H-A-N, Tistoj. Tistoj.
Thank you.
Un amigo de trabajo, o alguien, pero si te agarran manejando un carro, ¿quién va a cuidar a tu familia si no estás preso? Pasa aquí. Si te agarran manejando, mira.
Go ahead and sign for your acceptance. And then there's another. We got it. Thank you so much.
You are Juan
Eres Juan.
Chen Choj.
George? Chan Tistoj.
Mr. Chen, you are charged with two cases. You are charged with driving while intoxicated.
Ebrio,
You're also charged with fleeing a police officer.
de fugar contra un oficial.
On both cases, you were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
6 meses en la cárcel. Ahora pase $1,000.
We are going to do probable cause.
Oír los motivos fundados por qué te arrestaron.
You have the right to remain silent.
El derecho a permanecer callado.
Anything you say can or will be used against you.
No estar en contra de usted.
You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one,
Y si no,
one will be appointed to you.
vamos a asignar uno.
Yes, Judge. On February 17th, 2025, in the 5700 block of Bel Air Boulevard, the officer observed a vehicle drive in between two lanes and drive 50 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. The officer attempted a traffic stop and the defendant refused to stop and continued south on Ashcroft at slow speed. The defendant drove a total of 0.46 miles after the initial attempt at a traffic stop. The officer observed lethargic movements, a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, and watery eyes. The defendant admitted to having 4 beers, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, and the defendant refused to perform the one-leg stand. The defendant gave consent for a blood test.
Diste permiso para que te sacaran una muestra de sangre también.
Mr. Chen, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
para ir adelante con este.
Can you run his license?
There's no license on file, Your Honor.
If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, Mr. Chen, you are not allowed to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. If I find that you drive, because you will be signing an affidavit with me today. This is a promise that you're making to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. I want to tell you now, if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you because they sweep it daily, they will put an immigration detainer on you if you're not in this country with permission. You will be stuck in there until this case is over, and then they will ship you off to immigration. Do you understand?
¿Entendido? Sí.
You get no more warnings.
No te vamos a dar ninguna advertencia más.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs,
No puedes
or
tomar alcohol.
unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, your bond will be revoked. You will go into custody. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Benavides, and he will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he cannot get hold of you because you're playing games and you're dodging his phone calls or text messages, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You will be called to go take a drug and alcohol test. If you fail to go take a test, a warrant for your arrest will be issued.
Si no vas, te van a dar una orden de arresto.
For now, I will have you come swear to us that you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria to sign a reset. We will get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Van a hablar solo condiciones de fianza y después te puedes ir.
Okay? Please. Thanks.
This way. Next judge, counsel is approaching for page 13 and 14. Gomez Christopher.
Morning, Judge.
Hey, good morning, Carl. How are you?
Very good. Christopher Gomez was in custody last time we were here. He's since made bond. And he has a felony pending that's been reset till April the 16th. He's represented there by Erica Garza. And I think you wanted to address bond conditions while we were approaching.
Your bonds are very high now. Can you imagine if it gets revoked again and tripled, if not quadrupled? I'm not asking much, man. Don't violate conditions again. You're not to use alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to test you. Do you understand? So the cases are young. Just no weapons, no using. That's all I'm asking. Don't pick up a new case. Do you understand? In this case, he's driving. Am I right, Alex?
Let me confirm, Your Honor.
Please. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand? Until you have both of those, that's also a condition of your bond.
Yes, Judge, he was driving.
So I'll have you sign your conditions with Felicia, stay in contact with Carl. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. And that's it. I'm not asking for much, Mr. Gomez. Come on, man. All right. Come on. Okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
gotta go get my coffee. Be back.
Okay.
We'll call you back and we'll.
This one was.
No.
It just stays like the following conditions.
This was the one.
Let's see, just.
Do you want the day after? Is it going to felony in prison? Oh, you can do the same day. Okay.
Okay. Is that all set now? Yes, there.
It's gonna be good.
Next 2 weeks. And trying to use it.
Thank you. I'm gonna give it. Thank you so Yes. We have a PTI. Radio system, so that there's no issues in the water period. Coming in and out. Okay. Lopez, Christopher.
We're trying to get more quick.
So here. I'm receiving the text messages.
I do start this.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, just so you know, you're receiving sort of that logic.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the yours.
Just making sure you're getting those, you have any questions over here? Yeah. No, no. So I'm gonna need to write up the, just, you know, I see the previous conditions on your one for the, twice, I'll print these out for you, and then I'll get you.
Yeah.
All right, Judge, next is page 25. Montes, come on up.
You speak English?
I'll text him.
¿Cómo siento?
All right, Judge, next is page 32 and 33. Shire, Terrell.
Is it Scherer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Scherer, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. On that case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're also charged with criminal mischief. On that case, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On September 28th, 2023, officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, where the officers met with the complainant, who stated the defendant was upset because his brother was kicking him out of the house. The defendant became angry and stormed out of the house, and the complainant locked the door behind the defendant. The defendant then began striking the door with his feet, cracking the wood on the lower part of the door and damaging an alarm sensor. The complainant stated the door is valued at $200 and the alarm sensor is valued at $25.
Okay.
The complainant stated that while she was calling 911, the defendant yelled at her through the door that he was going to slit y'all's throats, and the complainant stated she was in fear for her safety.
Mr. Scherer, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm glad you made it. It took a while, but we got you here.
Yes, sir.
Stay. Don't take off again.
Louisiana.
Listen, you've gotten 3 PR bonds. If you take flight again, it's not going to go well.
Yes, sir.
Let me give you a lawyer today, try to work things out, but don't take off again. It's not going to go well.
So I can go back to Louisiana?
Well, hold on a second. So your case is 515 days old. It's extremely old. We usually set cases for trial at 180. So let's see what we can do. Let me get you a lawyer today. Tell me about contact with the brother.
We're still talking.
Don't, not you, talking to him.
Let me see if a rip has been performed, Your Honor. So looks like the last rip performed was back in October of 2023. And
You want to see if you can perhaps get that done today?
I can try to get another one done because that has been.
Yeah. All right. So let me do this. I already have an affidavit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you just take a seat for me in the jury box. Let me find you a lawyer here momentarily, and then we'll get back. All right. Don't leave. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and sign, please. All right, thank you.
Judge, that's it for now. I'm waiting on the interpreter for that last one.
It's okay, I can get it here.
Oh, sure.
That's fine. I'm ready. I was just gonna get that.
Yeah. Thanks, Sarah.
Chen?
Mr. D,
Yes, sir. Now approach your honor.
please.
Your Honor, I am here on Mr. Enrique Rodriguez. I received email from pretrial services stating that my client, Mr. Enrique Rodriguez, failed to go and to pretrial service and pick up the portable device.
Is Mr. Rodriguez here now?
Yes, sir. He's here, Judge. Mr. Rodriguez, come forward, please. I think he was supposed to get it by 1:13:25.
You don't have the devices we ordered you to do?
No, sir. I have I have a letter from the State Department of Transportation in Austin saying I am
No,
not ordered
no.
to drive a car, so I figured I didn't have to get it. So I can't drive. I didn't know. I didn't know. I figured since I can't drive, why should I get it? And then
Because I ordered you to get it. And now I'm revoking your bond and I'm putting you in jail because you've been a whole month without having it. You decide on your own? Courts don't work like that. It goes with you.
Thank you, Judge.
Don't send him down, please. Deputy Rand, don't send him down.
Yes, are you ready for the Spanish arraignment?
Yeah.
All right. Page 25, Montes, come on up.
You are Jose Montes.
Usted es José Montes. Yes, sir.
Mr. Montes, you were charged with assault of a family member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Si no tienes el dinero
Yes,
para
Judge.
contratar uno, te pueden dar
On
uno de
February
oficina.
16th,
El 16 de
2025,
de 2025.
officers were dispatched
Los
to
oficiales
an
fueron
assault
una
call
llamada de
in
una
Harris County,
agresión
Texas.
aquí en el condado de Harris.
Upon arrival,
Cuando llegaron,
the officer
los
met with the complainant,
oficiales hablaron con
who
el
stated that the
quejante
defendant
que dijo
is
que el
her husband
acusado
of
es su
5 years.
esposo de 5 años.
The complainant and the
El
defendant got
quejante
into an
y
argument
el
over their
acusado
children,
empezaron a
and the
discutir sobre
defendant
los
struck the
niños,
complainant in the
y usted
nose,
le pegó
causing
en
pain.
la nariz, causándole
The
dolor.
officer observed a cut
El
on the
oficial
complainant's nose
observó que tenía una
and blood on
cortada
her
en la
cheeks.
nariz y sangre en la quijada. Con los
Mr. Montes, I'm going to
cachetes
find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
y los fundados para ir adelante con este caso.
There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, the state can and probably will file a violation of a protective order against you. It is one of the worst cases that you can pick up.
Peor caso que
I am
puede
ordering you
haber.
now as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of any weapons.
Y que no-
If you violate this, I will put you in jail.
Si no cumple
I will do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County.
proteger
You violate this, I'll violate that bond. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission, and you go to jail,
vas a
and
ir a
immigration finds you,
inmigración, te van a
they will put an
empujar,
immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody
te vas
until
a
the case
quedar
is over with,
dos días
and
hasta
then
que
you get shipped off to
eso se
immigration.
resuelve.
Do you understand?
Sí, señor. Yes, sir.
No more warnings from us.
Va a dar ninguna orden.
You know what is right. You know what is wrong. Anything goes wrong,
Y si algo
you're mine.
mal, va a seguir afuera. Okay. Yes.
For now, or let me ask you this, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
¿Es el dinero para contratar un abogado? No. ¿La capacidad de contratar uno? No. No. No.
I can have you fill out an application.
Vamos
I will take a look to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer.
a mirar si
For now,
cualificas para un abogado.
Deputy Echegon will give you an application.
Te va a dar
We'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We will have you take a seat in the jury box. We will get bond conditions crafted for you to sign. Do not leave until you sign them, otherwise a warrant issues.
No te vayas hasta que lo firmes.
You understand?
¿Entendiendo?
I'll see whether you qualify. If you do, we'll give you a lawyer today.
Si calificas, te doy un abogado.
Please.
Yes, sir. Exacto.
So no contact, no weapons.
Is
please.
it signed?
Scarlett Lee?
For the case number? 255. 20. That's it for now, Judge.
Okay. Hey,
Judge,
hi.
I'm here on my end. It is a fugitive case
Okay.
and she stopped contacting me. She did not turn herself in and
Okay.
she's not here.
All right. So we'll revoke it, set it at 0. And then we'll let you know when we get her.
Thank you, Judge.
Nguyen, age. Bottom of 27. Yeah. Mr. D.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Joshua Connor, Your Honor. The last time we were in court, I believe it was 1/24/25. You had reset this case in order for me to watch the videos in this case. Unfortunately, Judge, there was only one video on the DA portal, and it belongs to that of a female. And they're only in the VAC room where they tested for alcohol or drugs. So they don't have any discovery.
And Mr. Dixon's correct. There's only one video, and it looks like body cam was marked correct upon getting that video, but we request that, Your Honor. We don't have it at this time.
Does it exist or do you know?
Uncertain at this time, Your Honor. We'd have to reach out and see, because this is a,
Joshua Connor. No, I don't need him up here. I'm telling you, Blaze. So Blaze, the case is over 400 days old. Why don't we set it for a couple days to see if you guys can reach out, you know? Maybe like Thursday? Hopefully that's enough time.
It's been this long, Your Honor.
I know, I get it, but I make a good faith effort to see if there's something there.
yes, Judge.
There is, try to get it, and then the case is too old and he's just in and out, so I'm not waiving his appearance.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
We'll see Thursday, and then hopefully if you have something, great. If there doesn't exist, please let them know beforehand. That way they can be prepared to do whatever they want to
I'll be in touch with Mr. Dixon.
do. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. D.
All right, so that's 2 traumas.
You want to hold?
Yes.
This time, just a minute. I'm gonna listen. Go ahead and sign. Great, there you go, you're free to go. She's done. I guess that's what she starts to do. So you just go right in higher. Things like her bio is crazy. Her bio is crazy. She does a lot. They like people to show. I don't want to go I'm not sure. But now we're 6 months. But I just got the next one. Yeah. Also, when Alright, well. I was like, okay. Yes, that's not really talk to you. No, but this job offered to have this. So I was like, oh my God. Okay, so she would. Unless you do, I don't know, show location.
So the dating.
Oh, yeah. Because
This one, yeah. Okay. This is the deal.
Okay, thank you. Somewhere. Yeah, it's just Are you ready?
Yes.
We can just see how that Just for argument, or is it just the?
Hi,
Good morning, sir. May I approach?
please.
Thank you. I have Miss Pham on your in custody docket.
Okay.
I was appointed this morning, sir. It is a old bond forfeiture case on an FSGI. I filed a bail waiver. I've spoken to her this morning. We're requesting a quick reset, maybe a week or so. On this case, we think we can work it out for restitution and dismiss. They have the restitution bill, but because the case is older, they just want to make sure that the complainant information is up to date.
Okay, yeah,
She's
sure.
provided me her dad's information and I've sent a text and a voicemail, but she thinks that he'll be able to bond her out. And just because of some mental health concerns, I just want to make sure that there's someone there to pick her up and she's.
Yeah, sure. I mean, or you can, whatever you want.
Thank you, sir.
So there's a restitution dismiss?
That's right.
Yeah,
Judge.
okay, yeah, whatever you want. I'm happy to do.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks.
There's a transfer order. There's a transfer order.
I signed.
Okay.
Hey,
Judge, I have Marvin Abute on the docket. We did get the contract for DWI this morning. He gets his device on 2/26.
okay, let's set it for Thursday then?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Judge, sorry, I was talking to someone when we addressed Mr. Rodriguez with a BDR. I'm not sure if it was put in there clearly, but I just wanted to let the officer. And he never went by the office at all to even get instruction on how.
Yeah, he just did whatever you want. Yeah, I'm just gonna revoke his bond.
I just wanted to clarify it with
Yeah.
them before to let you know, just so
Got
I
it.
could see if anything was done, but.
No, he didn't. He just, whatever he wanted to do. Yeah, thanks.
What was the bond amount on that, Judge? For Rodriguez?
It's Enrique, right? Enrique.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, 5,001. Yeah.
And on when you wanted to send it?
Zero. Zero. and one, yeah.
Are you, so, author on there says I served on that, the things, the. No idea. Maybe minutes less than he was she good to go back? She.
Okay, let's go Juices.
Oh, you are.
Counsel for reset?
Hey, okay, thanks for hanging out with us.
Esto es mensual, ¿verdad? Su salario mensual. Porque para esta parte, si no lo puede contestar, lo tiene que poner, pero son.
They have nobody that's going back though. We have one of us have to take a pause. So, yeah, take a phone or stuff. That's probably them wait. Brown bread.
No, really.
No, honey. I need something.
Oh, Sunday.
How did you try to?
Bueno, sí, a veces, a mí me va a dar la
So yeah, they said they have nobody there for. And they don't have nobody where they go all the time.
Yeah.
We turn them off. Watching world back. It's
De toda la información en ese documento está verdad, nada más que la verdad. Ok, gracias. Solo que necesito.
I love that. Yeah. What happened? So what happened? Is the drug mature? Okay. Okay. And so then basically with that, I have to have all the evidence again.
He just taking forever.
All right, pass.
I just have fire over 8. Yes.
Was it? Wait. Oh, that restaurant. Or I heard that. It was like.
Oh, that was just for the so that was not like.
Re-enter public innocence questions.
Yeah.
You really don't have to, but it's better than you do it every time. So y'all were.
Yeah, they're still in there.
So the probation's in play.
Well, the defendant had filed for it, but my asked the judge to consider probation and.
That's okay.
Felicia, can I give you a cost number?
Yes. Go ahead.
253-5048. Is it in lockout, please?
For Jones.
Yeah, I don't think any part of them.
So it makes sense. But he don't want to do it jail, so that's.
Did we have him in the other day, Judge? I mean, he's gonna.
Yep, they left without addressing the bond violation.
Yes.
Is
I
it,
still see as the 17th that it's in lockout, but let me reach out to the case manager directly.
That was a good, because that was like at least.
Yeah, so we did Tuesday and Thursday. This one, because he's, he's court, but also he points to like this.
That's the beauty of it. You gotta be.
That was his whole purpose. I think that I know through that. Like how you're doing.
You're like, I don't care.
Yeah. Like, no, that's what's in his pocket. After doing that, it's
May I approach you?
Please.
Approach. Judge, this is Assistant District Attorney Eakins. She's the new prosecutor on the environmental cases. She's good enough to join us this morning to discuss the two cases, the Rubio and Rodriguez.
okay?
She clarified an issue for me. I apparently misunderstood Mr. Goldberg, the idea that he could facilitate and get my clients into the cleaning green faster. She indicates to me that's not possible. So
When's the next date you have for cleaning?
I looked a couple
Say it
of
again?
nights ago, it was end of May.
In May.
So long.
They have a limited number of positions that they have for each service day. It's just full.
That's like 3 months down the road. that you
Right.
sit. I mean, I think that's an unreasonable wait.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
I don't
They have to sit-
control that in any way. I
the,
told him that if the case is older, I just got these, so I haven't even looked at the
okay.
age of the case.
And
If the
let's
case
look.
is older and you'd like to get it off the docket, which is understandable, I would be willing for them to just do the Houston Bank instead.
So they're both, one is 190, one is 180. So then you're talking about, you
Right.
know,
Great. So, if they want to go do their community service at the Houston Food Bank instead, just one day of service at the food bank, I'll
Okay.
accept that. And
Well, that's exactly what I anticipated Mr. Goldberg was going to offer. I had them all built up for that. And then he offers me this cleaning green.
Yeah.
But they're actually ready to do the time, to do because that's
so
what I
let's do
told them.
that. Just make sure that they
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
a legitimate
They'll
letter
get
from them
it,
saying.
oh, sure.
Yeah,
And 6
that's no
hours, is that sufficient or do you
it'll
want
be the whole day. So I think it's an 8-hour day.
8-hour day? That's fine with me.
So,
That's absolute, because that's what we were anticipating at the beginning anyway. I jumped the gun.
We do prefer the clean and green for obvious reasons. Community likes it when people who illegally dump pick up trash from the side of the road.
get it?
But in this instance, it's older. I totally understand. That's not a problem.
Great, let's
Okay.
do that. So I'll set it out 2 weeks.
That's
We
fine.
got to get it done. Let them
That's
know if
fine,
it's
Judge.
not done, I'm setting them for trial and everything goes away.
Understood, Judge.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
All right,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Nice to meet you.
No problem. Nice to meet you.
Counsel for Lisa. So I'm gonna tell them.
Felicia, did you say it's still in lockout?
I'm waiting on a response right now,
Okay.
just to confirm, because the last check we did was on the 17th.
Yeah, just, I guess let me know.
Let's do 22nd.
Say something. When I told them also, we're gonna get that. Yeah. Single smart work, man. I don't want to. You just have something to figure out what. Unless you have the weekend.
I'm here on Miss Crystal Gonzalez.
Okay. In custody or on bond?
On bond. Bond.
On, okay. Okay.
I'm here for two reasons. The first reason is to sub in. I've been assigned this case, so we're doing an inter-office attorney change, so I need time to.
Okay, so I've heard, so she's no longer, so are you now the new lawyer that's working with?
Yes, sir.
Is it
Donna and
Donna?
Jones?
Right, okay, that's what, it was Donna, that's right. Okay,
So I'm pressing a reset
great.
if
You file a
possible.
motion to sub by chance? Wonderful. Great. I have to get to know you somehow, because I don't know your name.
Lanisha Hudson.
Ms. Hudson. Okay, Ms. Hudson, nice to meet you.
Same to you.
So the case is really old. Where are we at?
From my understanding, the mitigation packet was submitted on the 17th by our office. However, I just spoke to the prosecutor and they have not received it. So I wanted to see if I could get that information from the client and get it submitted.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll, it's 212 days. This should have been submitted way, way long ago. I'm gonna roll you to tomorrow, reach out to the client, see where we're going. I mean, they should be here now.
Yes, she is.
So go talk to her, see if it's been submitted. you know, and then I guess let me know.
Yes, sir. She said that she turned it in to our office. I did speak with her before I came up. She said that
So
she.
let's roll it together and then check with the office, submit it, and then let's verify tomorrow that it gets submitted. If it's submitted tomorrow, then we'll set you off 2 weeks for, you know, to get a reply or.
Sounds good to me, Yana. Thank you.
Sure.
Judge required appearance?
Yeah. I mean, it's old, you know. Okay.
All right, thank you, Yana. My business.
And happy to have you. Abel.
Judge, good morning.
Reben.
Been around, Judge, you? Been around?
Morning.
How you doing?
You're Mr. Riley. Mr. Riley, you're wanted out of the state of Louisiana for domestic abuse, battery, child endangerment, and theft. Are you waiving formal extradition, sir?
Yes, you are.
All right, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Morning, Your Honor.
Hi, Brock. We had an issue with you late last week.
I did something
Remember?
wrong? It was with the plea.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
We
Did you know what? So you know, I mean, because,
What happened?
so we did the plea, but we didn't know whether it was going to be reduced to a B or whether it was going to stay to an A. So I think we ended up
We were just.
we reduced it to a B. It was kind of
Yeah.
like, I think we were kind of unclear.
Okay.
We just, you know, because we couldn't get a hold of you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank you. I apologize, I didn't respond. I think
No, it's,
Friday.
and I guess I didn't get it at the time when we did the plea. I didn't realize whether it was going to be A or B, because it was pled as a B.
Counsel,
It
what
was
that?
in the plea documents, it was charged as a B,
Right,
but then it still had the 0.15, so that's why. But anyways,
I understand.
What you got?
I understand. So this morning I have Ms. Jasmine Robertson.
okay,
She's present. This is when I'm trying to get into PTI. I have the application, I have her insurance. The state is requiring a mitigation packet. She has everything but a couple of documents. Because I think.
you
one
guys
of-
have been working on the mitigation package since January. I have
Getting the documents to me, Yana. And she told me this morning she's only missing.
32 days. Is she still hasn't gotten it to you?
She's supposed to get it to me this week. I just spoke
Rolling
with
it,
her.
no, I'm rolling it tomorrow.
Yana, if you don't mind, only because she drives back and forth from Dallas. If I can just have 1 week, Yana, I can have her in the program. I can have an acceptance.
You're saying in the program?
She will be, well, I'll have an answer at least and set her up for the assessment.
Where's she now?
She's right here. She's present. She drove from Dallas this
Come
morning.
up, ma'am.
Each time she comes, she drives down from.
We've literally since December 19th been working on a mitigation package. We're now February.
I understand, Yana. I understand. Well, in December, she was on the fence about whether or not she wanted to do the program. So we really didn't actually start trying to get the things together until January.
We set cases for trial in 180 days, and I hear that you've been working on this mitigation package since December 19th. We are now 232 days. You have until Monday. If it's not completed and turned in by Monday, you will get an immediate trial setting. Do you understand? Absolutely no excuses.
I understand, Yana.
So I'm setting it for bond forfeiture for Monday.
Everything will be turned in before Monday, Yana.
No more waived appearances. If it's not done, that's it. All right,
Yes, Your
see you
Honor.
Monday.
Thank you, Yana. If I do have it and set it an assessment date, can I get a new court date after Monday, Yana?
No, I want to know, I'm leaving it on Monday because I want to know this turned in. I
I'll
don't
come by
want
and let you know.
any more.
That's what I'm saying. I will come by and let you know personally.
Okay, let me
prior to
know.
Monday.
Before that, let me know.
Thank you, Yana.
We'll talk.
Have a great day.
You too, bro.
This way. Go ahead and sign for your lease.
Yes, we have
I'm sorry?
Brandon Brown.
Okay. Serenity now.
So Brandon Brown,
Give me good news. Tell me something nice, please.
I'm not gonna ask 2 degrees bail if that's something that he's.
Oh, I'm just, no. That's really, that has no bearing. You can always ask. It's not gonna like sour my mood.
So we had the evading case. He picked up another evading case.
Okay.
I would like a reset. I don't have any arguments to reduce, but I just asked that it's not revoked on that first evading case and not increased on this new one.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Guys, do you mind bringing up Mr. Brown, please? Brandon Brown. I can't promise you. I mean, you know,
And he has a whole
I will
felony.
never get upset for you zealously advocating for your client. Do everything that you need to do. If you think a judge is going to back, who cares? Do what you need to do regardless. Even if it pisses the judge off, screw the judge. You need to do what's best for you and your client, right?
Always.
But likewise, I also have to do what I think is in the right, you know? If homeboy is picking up case after case after case, I can't just continue, you know?
I understand, Judge.
I don't know anything. All I see is that
Yeah, I got
Quite a
this
bit.
this morning. I see that previous evading case.
so he's on bond right now for an evading, right? He's also at the same time picks up a UUMB, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. In February, picks up a possession of marijuana.
It's gonna.
Which did I find your PC on that?
Judge is, I mean, the state is going to dismiss that.
Let me see.
That is true, Judge. That case was, no PC was found, and so.
By the magistrate, right?
Yes.
And now, is it a day later? Mackenzie, is that right? Like the next day he picks up an evading arrest?
2 days later.
So let's look at the information and see.
He's
when-
already on hold for felony, so he is going to be in here for felony, for his felony. So my
So-
only argument.
Here's the good news for you. This evading, did you look at the information?
Not completely, Judge.
Okay, that's really important. It's from June 10th of 23.
Oh, yes.
It's not a new
I've seen-
case.
I seen that. That's the older one.
Good morning, Mr. Brown.
How you doing, sir?
Mackenzie, do you want anything?
No, Judge, we would just like that he maintained the surety bond on both evadings.
On the one that was just filed, he has made bond on that one.
Okay.
And they gave him a PR bond on that one. So it looks like the magistrate gave him a PR bond on that one, but he did not get a PR bond on the first evading case. So you're being held right now because you have not made bond on the first evading case. You're also being held at no bond on your felony upstairs on the UUMV. Does he have a valid license? Yes.
Checking right now, Judge. His driver's license is not eligible, Your Honor.
The only condition I have with you now, Mr. Brown, is do not drive.
Sir.
I don't know if you're going to get out. If you do not drive. That is a condition of your bond. I'm going to have you put me like 50,000.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here. Because I'd like him to sign. I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today, Mr. Brown, that you're not going to drive. This is a promise that you're going to make to me, that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kids, cats, whatever. Don't drive. If you understand, I will acquiesce to you. I'm not going to do anything
Thank
to
you,
the bonds
Judge.
at all.
Thank you.
So he hasn't made it up to felony court yet. And
there's not a date set yet.
right. So my feeling is that they'll probably within a week set a date. So why don't we set it out like a week to give him time to make it upstairs? Then
Right.
we'll come back here and then we'll go from there, I guess. See what they do with the bond and stuff upstairs. I need him to sign an affidavit that he's not going to drive. Other than that. Okay. So just, Mr. Brown,
Yes, sir.
be good, man. We're not asking for much, you know?
Yes, sir.
Really? Okay. Thanks.
Judge.
So just hang tight. As soon as we get back with him, I'll have him sign.
Okay, and
Okay.
I have one more.
Okay.
This is Dedrick Addison for his arraignment.
Okay.
He's here.
Mr. Addison, come up. All right, he made it. Wow.
He sure did.
Fantastic. Do you have an offer on this case, Mackenzie?
Not yet. Sorry, my computer's being.
I'm so happy that you made it here.
Okay,
I'm so proud of you. Great job for showing up. Really,
thank you, Your Honor.
good job. All we ask you to do is come back. When you come back, good things happen.
Yes,
Really,
sir.
you know?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, thank you for showing up. You're charged with criminal trespass. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We have not found probable cause. We have to do probable cause because it has not been found yet.
Okay,
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. We have already appointed your lawyer, so just hang tight. We're going to find out what happened real quick, okay?
okay.
Please.
On January 13th, 2025, an officer was working his extra job at LBJ Hospital in Harris County, Texas. The officer was advised by a security officer of a trespasser who refused to leave the property. The complainant advised the defendant was discharged from the hospital at approximately 9 p.m. and was advised to leave. The defendant left at that time. The defendant returned to the hospital at 11 p.m. and caused a disturbance by refusing to leave. The defendant was asked to leave the hospital again and refused to leave.
So he goes to the hospital the first time.
Yes.
They told him to leave?
Yes, he was discharged around.
They give him a
9
trespass warning. Because I can just tell anybody to leave. But if I'm trespassing them, that's something different, you know?
The summary does not say that it was a trespass warning. It just said he was just told to
You
leave.
ask him to leave, okay. You're not telling him not to come back. Did they tell him that he couldn't come back? Because that's a big difference.
It just says the defendant was asked to leave the hospital again and he refused to leave. It doesn't say that he was told not
Now,
to.
if you refuse to leave when they're telling you to leave, that's a problem. But so he left the first time.
He left the first time, then he came back at 11 p.m. They told him to leave the property at that time and he refused to leave.
Yeah, that's a problem. And then obviously, did the cops get there and then they arrest him?
I don't know. There's no discovery yet. There's no body cam or dash cam footage to review yet.
What hospital is this?
The Lyndon B.
Okay.
Johnson Hospital, yes.
Okay. Mr. Addison, I'm going to find that there's enough probable cause to go forward. The only thing I'm going to ask you is please do not go back to LBJ Hospital.
Okay,
If you go back to the hospital, they're going to try to have you arrested again.
okay,
You need to find a new one.
okay.
And when you go, be nice.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
Being nice and being patient goes really a long way, you know?
Yes, sir.
We've given you a lawyer. The only other thing I'm asking you to do is stay in contact with her, and she will tell you when you have to come back, if you have to come back, okay?
Okay.
Stay in touch with her and everything will go well,
Yes,
okay? And just don't go back.
Yes, sir.
Do you mind filing that, please?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so whatever you guys need, we'll just give you a reset. We'll waive the appearance and then you're good.
Better wait the plans, okay? Thank you, Judge.
You want to do what?
I'll talk to you in a second.
Okay. Yeah.
Right this way.
So I have Lori assigned to the case.
I'm just stepping in for Lori today.
Okay, got it. Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
We'll sign in just a minute. Counsel, how is?
Judge, for that case we had talked about earlier, it's still in lockout.
It's lockout.
Yes, Judge.
Hi, counsel, you ready?
Judge, yes, sir. We have, Alfredo, Campos, yes, Judge.
You need a translator?
No, no, Judge.
Campos. Good morning, Mr. Campos. You were charged with, he just has a one open case, is that
That's
it?
it, Judge.
Mr. Campos, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you have done. You need to understand that you're making a lifetime decision today, and this is a very, very serious one because this DWI, it's going to go on your record. The problem is that if you ever get pulled over in the future, An officer's gonna look on your record. If they see that you have a prior DWI, they come up to your window and they smell alcohol or they smell dope, what do you think they're gonna do?
They're gonna throw it again, do the same thing again.
Probably so.
Yeah.
The problem is that from now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. No more proverbial slaps on the wrist. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The other thing is DWI is extremely big business in Texas. There is a $3,000 surcharge that we would normally tack onto this. You pick up a second DWI, it's a $6,000 surcharge that hits you. And if you don't pay it, you do a ton of jail time. You'll never get a license as well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Everyone makes mistakes. But if you continue to make mistakes where you endanger other people's lives, there are real serious consequences. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
$40, one click of a button, anywhere you want to go, man. You know what I mean? You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty to this offense, you can never change your mind.
Yes, sir.
You sure you want to do this?
Yes, sir.
So no PTI?
We've discussed it and started the application process, Judge, and his work and his income are kind of prohibitive, I think, and so this is what he wants to do.
There is a program where if you are granted entering to and you complete it, the case gets dismissed. You sure you want to do this?
Yes, sir. As of right now, yes, sir.
As of right now, it's forever.
Like that's it. This is.
As of right now, it's now.
Look, you are old enough to realize that I guarantee you, it may not be tomorrow and it may not be 2 years, but at some point in this life, you're gonna go, I'm such a freaking idiot for not doing that. Just wait. No. I'm telling you, you're going to. Are you sure? Because once you do this, this isn't Target where you can just return it because I don't like it. I will give you the opportunity. If you want, I will give you a week to get the application done. Does he need a mitigation packet?
We have not, Judge. No, we not. We just, we're just gonna do up the PTI stuff. We can do it.
Need a mitigation packet?
No mitigation packet has been submitted yet.
No. Would he need to do a mitigation?
Yes, there were drugs. If it's a drug DWI,
Okay.
mitigation packet.
Do you want time to talk to him to see if you want to do it, or do you just want to do this? What do you want to do?
I'm doing this right now.
Okay.
That's.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to this agreement. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Don't drive until you get a license. Otherwise, you're going to be right back over here. But get a clue, because you pick up another one, there are serious, serious consequences. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Look.
His court costs and fines and surcharges run concurrently with this sentence, Judge.
What do you do for a living? Or how old are you?
21.
I will.
Thanks, Judge.
But understand, you pick up another one, it's a $6,000 surcharge, a minimum of 30 days. You understand?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hey, man.
I think he has 2 devices on his.
I'll take it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything goes off today. You're done today. But like I said,
Yeah.
in life, when you take a half-ass approach, you get a half-ass result. Just wait. Good luck, Mr. Cumbers.
Thank you.
All right. Ready?
I'm approaching on, Ally. I don't.
Scared them off?
Yeah. Ally, ALLY.
Okay.
He got accepted into the whole PTI. We've
Great.
executed the contract.
Great.
I'm just here asking for enough time and a long enough reset to allow him to do the assessment. And if you recall, the Harris Center sends over the updates like once a month rather than piecemeal. So he's gonna go do the assessment this week for sure, but it may.
But I want to make sure that the assessment gets done and he's not yanking our chain where it doesn't. So let's do this.
Okay.
Get the assessment done. What is
So he's gonna walk in today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we don't need an appointment.
Here?
He's here, mom and dad are here.
Great. That's them, right?
Yes.
Okay, guys, come on up. Mr. Ally, come on up. Mom and Dad, you can come too. So in addition to this interview, he also has a follow-up, right?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. He's already receiving services through the Harris Center, so he may not need the follow-up.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Thank you for coming. You guys have been given a great opportunity where all he has to do is go do this interview. Once that happens, they will dismiss this case. Okay? So it's a walk-in type interview where you just go to the Harrison. Can it be done, do you think, within the next couple days? Okay, so the only thing I would like to do is just make sure that it gets done. The case is 454 days old, so it's really, really old. So let's set it off a week. All I want to do is make sure that it gets done. Once she can confirm to me that it gets done, we'll probably set your case off 2 to 3 weeks so that they can file the report. Because the problem is that we don't know when they file the report. It's anybody's guess. It's like trying to win the lottery to try to guess when they're going to do it. So, but all I would like to know is that it gets done. So you guys, within the next couple of days, we'll go do it.
We'll get it done.
Okay, great. So let's just set you off a week. Make sure it gets done. You're almost done, Mr. Ally. Just go get this done and then you're over. Okay? You're doing good. Okay?
And then if we set it off a week, will we waive his appearance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If it doesn't get done,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
We get it done.
Yeah, it's gonna get done.
I believe.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. If y'all want to have a seat, I'll get the reset and we'll get y'all to lunch.
Hi.
Good morning. We have a Spanish speaking, please.
Okay. We have. Oh, you're here. Great.
Client's name.
Almendares.
Yes, this is, just slipped my mind. I'm sorry, I didn't.
¿Cuál es su nombre? Raúl, ¿qué?
Almendares.
Almendares, Raúl.
Good morning, Mr. Almendares.
Buenos días, señor Almendares. Good morning.
You are charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense.
Segunda ofensa.
You have worked out an agreement where they are reducing it to a first DWI,
Como si fuera el
and you are pleading guilty to this case today. You need to understand something extremely important, that you now have, even though they are reducing it to a first, you now have 2 DWIs on your record. If you ever get pulled over again and you have even the faintest smell, it's probably not going to go well for you. And if you ever get charged with a DWI, you will be facing a felony charge. A minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison. Is that what it's going to take to get you to not consume and get into a car, putting you in prison? Is that what it's going to take?
No, I'm not going to drink.
Counsel for reset?
I'm not going to drink anymore.
While you are on probation, you're not allowed to. If I find that you do, I will put you in jail. A motion to revoke your probation can be filed, and you go to jail for up to a year. Do you understand? Entering into a 16-month probation today, you will be required to complete several things. If you fail to complete them, if you fail to complete them on time, if you consume alcohol or illegal drugs, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. You will be put into custody, and we will then have a hearing as to whether you violated the probation. And if you did, or you do, you're looking at an entire year in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, man, I understand.
You to complete successfully.
I only smoke cigarettes, that's it.
Well, that's still that.
Eso es todavía malo.
That's on you.
Eso tiene nada que tiene que ver con.
Above all else, in this short life that we have, if I were you, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I would never get behind the wheel of a car because you are taking a humongous risk, especially if you have family that depend on you.
Especialmente si tienes familia que depende de ti.
You must complete a repeat offender DWI education class.
Clase para gente que han sido profesores de manejar ebrio.
2 victim impact panels.
Dos paneles de donde va a hablar con.
You will be required to do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you need.
También que le
If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them.
Hacer otras condiciones, tienes que cumplir con esas condiciones.
Random drug and alcohol testing.
Muestras de alcohol y de drogas.
No drugs, no alcohol.
Nada de drogas, nada de alcohol.
You must maintain a guardian interlock. If you do not have a license, then you must maintain a portable breath test device.
Tienes que tener uno portátil.
And 25 hours of community service.
45 hours, Judge.
Of community service.
25 horas de servicio.
Do you understand this agreement?
¿Está de acuerdo? ¿Qué estamos haciendo? Yes.
There is also a surcharge of $6,000 that you will be required to pay.
Hay un honorario que tienes que pagar de $6,000. Eso
We'll
va a ser
give you a
requerido.
sufficient amount of time
Te
to
voy a
pay.
dar bastante tiempo para pagarlo.
So take off supervisory fees because he has to obviously pay that. You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf,
Que vengan testigos a
confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences.
Si no eres ciudadano, hay
Deported,
consecuencias de inmigración.
excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this probation today, you are signing a contract with us. You either complete it successfully or you will end up in jail.
Si no lo cumples, va a ir a la cárcel.
You understand?
¿Entendido?
Is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above?
Que soplaste un punto 1.5 o más. Yes.
True to the enhancement?
Cierto, right. Okay.
One last thing, I have to suspend your license. Second offense.
Tengo que suspender
Suspend it for a year.
licencia
Do not
porque
drive
fue
until you
una
get a
ofensa.
license.
Y lo voy a
You'll also be
suspender
signing an affidavit that you're promising you're not to drive.
a firmar una
Do
declaración jurada
not drive.
de manejar.
Do you understand?
Manejes, ¿entiendes? Here, yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense, guilty or not guilty?
Still
I will
guilty.
find you guilty, sentence you to it.
Mira, te juzga culpable
Good luck to you.
y te sentencia.
Judge, may I give you, probation officer here, all the AA classes that he can as proof, so it could have a bearing on his TRAS?
Sure.
Okay,
I mean, he still has to do the TRAS,
that's a TRAS.
but
just-
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they'll take it into account, but I don't know how it would impact. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Eso toca, caballero.
Hi.
Let me question briefly on an off-docket matter. Chaselon Booker, would you like the case number?
Please.
It is 2521808. I've just spoken with the chief. We are currently set on docket this Thursday. And in light of a new chief, and in addition, Judge, he is supposed to be entering his PTI in Del Rio on the 28th. I was going to ask if we could move it to the following week, just so I can present the state.
We're like already done that several times.
He
Right.
is entering the PTI this week. I will not be able to get the signature paperwork. They told me the 28th, which is Friday, which is the day after we're in docket, which means we're trying desperately to put together a global package. And as soon as I can give the state the paperwork, we can do what we need to do. So I'm just asking for the following week instead of Friday or Thursday, excuse me.
Day you want?
Any day next week, the 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Okay, it's fine. It's on the third.
Speaker Dolores. Okay, thank you, Judge.
Trey,
Hi, Judge, I'm here in the new case.
Luis.
Share SCH. Approaching because it's an older case. See if you would consider a reset. I've actually met with client. We've gone over report 911, RIP, tried to negotiate a deal with the state, couldn't do it, asked them to eval it, and now I'm asking for a reset.
The case is like beyond old.
It is
isn't it? It's
beyond
like-
old, focus on it today.
Right. Come up, Mr. Scherer. Obviously, I'm going to give you time. It's not going to be a lot. I'll give you 2 weeks, but I'm not going to waive this. I'm not going to waive his appearance.
No, I do want his appearance, and he knows that. He's
Right.
gonna be coming.
If you ever take, I want you to know that if you ever take off again, you will no more get a PR bond. You will go into custody. Do you understand? All I'm asking you to do is come back in 2 weeks so we can finalize this case once and for all.
He's
Right?
homeless and he is at the Ed Emmett Center.
Oh, great. Just so you're not far.
No.
Just, we're going to reset this case 2 weeks. All you have to do is stay in touch with Shreya. She will keep you updated about this case. You will have to meet with her between now and our next reset so that you can go over all the evidence with her.
Judge, can I request less than 2 weeks or more than 2 weeks? It's spring break in 2 weeks. So 3 weeks, or if you'd like to do next week.
Is discovery complete?
Let me check, Your Honor.
Please.
Yes, Judge. It's complete and everything's shared.
On both cases?
Yes, Judge.
I'm
All I
going
have
to
to
give
do
you
is
3
watch
weeks to
body
give you the
cams.
benefit of the doubt, but it's plea or trial at that setting. So you must be back here in 3 weeks. You understand, Mr. Sheriff? Don't blow us off again. It's not going to go well. All I'm asking you to do is show up. Okay? Okay, please. Hi, John D. Hey, you too,
Two
man.
cases, alphabetically. Let's start with Mr. Brown. He's a threefer.
Is he in custody?
No, he's a judge. This is a young kid who's very mentally diminished. There's actually a state personnel that has, representation over him. I've talked to that person.
So he has a guardian?
He has a guardian. And Richard had asked me to just forward some info. I've done that. They're just asking for a short time to eval everything. It's, is that okay? All right. So that's good. And the other one.
Is there an offer on these cases now or no?
No, but Richard's about to, he's gonna eval it and take a look at it, Judge.
Don't get up.
Yeah.
Please, really.
I'm used to coming up and explaining everything.
Don't worry about it.
We're gonna give you a little bit of time to eval it.
Yeah.
Just, okay. Second case is Mr. Serrato. He is a 17-year-old kid.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Serrato, Judge. He's supposed to be here. He knew that. He texted me this morning. His mom's car is not starting.
We already gave him the benefit of the doubt. He gave us that excuse last time.
I can.
He gave us that exact excuse last time. So 5,001. I can't keep, it's 250 days old.
I understand,
Please,
Judge.
over and over.
I understand.
Maybe we'll get the attention now.
I understand.
5,000.
The last one, Miss Megan Fine, PTI is good. She's on the program. All good.
So they're filing a supervision order?
It's probably done already. I checked.
Okay, great. Okay.
So that's it, Judge.
Thanks, John D.
I will probably try to reach out to you later in the afternoon on that other matter.
Okay. Hey,
Hey, Sheriff, do you guys need bond conditions or anything? Are we good?
I had asked him to do a rip because I wanted to know.
They just want no contact. That's the remaining concern.
They do want no contact. Yeah, so can you file no contact, no weapons?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, just make sure he doesn't leave until he's.
For the. It'll go with. Sorry. Yes.
Sadiq.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Are you going to,
You know what? I was considering, but he never even made it to the office. He never even went to pretrial, so, no. He's, yeah.
I understand.
Thank you, Mr. D.
Yes, sir.
I'll be real quick, John.
It's going.
Hey, how you doing?
Yes.
Point in the jury box. Did you point someone to me?
Oh, yeah, Montes,
Yeah,
we're just waiting on the council.
okay.
I'm sorry, bond conditions. We're waiting on one.
Did you file on Montes the bond condition?
It should have been filed, Your Honor. Double check.
No, I haven't seen these. So I haven't. Council will be set.
Your Honor, let me file it right now.
Please.
The clerk does, if they have a trial as well, they, like the clerk has to file something, and they'll never take on the trial. Check with that, and our offices, and that being confirmed, in the original order, that would be stuff with It's some for the foundation.
You were Stephen Braxton.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Braxton, you're charged with theft.
Yes, sir.
You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
Yes, sir.
You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 30 days in jail with credit for the 10 days that you've done.
Yes, sir.
Is this how you understand the agreement?
Yes, sir.
This now makes two. You know what happens on a third theft?
No, sir.
They can file a felony charge against you. And you were looking at years instead of days. A third theft is a felony.
Yes, sir.
And it's a lot more time than what we're doing now.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Even a case of beer, pack of smokes, you're looking at a ton of time.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement today. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, it will go on your record. You can never take it off.
Yes, sir.
This is what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to it. You know, Mr. Braxton, if you need anything, come back here. We can give you whatever you need. Food, a place to stay, cell phone, tablet, a job, whatever you want. We can find it for you. All you got to do is come back here.
No, I don't want to come back. It's just, it is just that in the last like 4 years, my wife passed away in 2021. And that's what my provider during the time. And it just,
We have services here that we can help you if you need it. If you want me to get you a job, because I mean, I have paperwork that we can get you a job, you know, place to sleep, food to eat. All you got to do is ask. We're here for you. But, you know, any more things like this, you're looking at a ton of time. I'm sorry about your wife, but ask. We'll help you.
okay.
All right? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
What's your bar?
Greg,
Hey, Judge.
everything work out okay?
Yeah, he's actually here today. He's in the corner.
Right.
Did work out. I told him he was good. He was on his way to get the ankle monitor. And then I checked to make sure. And he was on docket today. So,
But yeah, we moved everything to try to get him out as quick as we can. So,
so yeah, he's here in the corner. He needs to probably,
okay. So
but he needs to go get his ankle monitors.
yeah, we'll send him now. Felicia, do you on Galindo, do you see everything? Can we send him now?
Sorry, could you, what is this for?
INDO.
No, no, regarding what, so it's an approach on the.
Judge, I put him in jail last week because he had tested dirty.
So we're gonna test again in like 50 days and then, right now he's supposed to get a monitor, so he's not out in the middle of the night. Hey, Greg, are there co-defendants? No, he's just not supposed to hang around.
Well, there was 3 of them, at least 3 or 4. I can't remember.
So no contact obviously with co-defendants.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
And I do have one, fugitive.
Okay.
As of right now, I will.
Amy's not here.
He's not here. She emailed me that it's for John Booth. He waived 221 to Cuyahoga County, Ohio.
So I guess just ask him if he wants to keep his waiver.
I'm going to assume yes, because he's wanted for aggravated murder. So I'm not even going to ask you for a bond.
Yeah. No, so I'm assuming that carries a term of life, and if it's a life sentence, I can't give a bond anyways, even if I wanted to.
She did say if he keeps it, reset date is scheduled for 3/10. So
yeah,
I mean, we don't need to sign anything if he keeps it, right? Okay, so
we're good.
Oh, I see, sorry, this is what I was confused. We reinstated his bond, right?
Correct.
I don't.
We need to make sure that the conditions are still in place so that when he
Yes,
goes
so
down.
I left a note last week for that to double check and then I don't see the reinstatement.
We did it Saturday.
yes, we're supposed to be done Friday and then judge graciously.
So, his
No.
conditions will be in place with the reinstatement, but if he doesn't have the device.
It was our mistake. So I mean, it happens. We get just so busy.
Yeah.
You know?
So he should have already had the device prior to that, but sometimes they do take it off in the jail. So if he doesn't have that, he can go over today and they'll put it back on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do.
Okay, and then do a 40 or 50-day reset.
Let's do 50. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Galindo.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a 50-day reset. He's gonna go get the ankle monitors.
50 days success at the end of life.
So Blaze is a nickname?
No.
Okay. So it's Richard is your first. Okay. That's a cool middle name. Okay, are you ready? Hi.
Good morning. I'm here on 2 cases. The first one's on the docket, Malveau, Malveaux. Judge, this is the one we approached, and I've been back a couple of times trying to amend the condition for the mom. This is an alleged assault family violence between a mother and a son. Ms. Malveau is here. The state has agreed, and I think they've contacted someone to change her bond condition to, we were just going to ask to allow for the texting and the phone call. And then you would ask them to do some follow-up rips.
So the defendant is mom.
Yes.
Complaining witness's daughter.
This is the, I believe,
Daughter's 21 or 20?
Son.
So
The
it's a son.
son is, he's 18, I believe he's a senior in high school. He's living with a family friend right now. And we
are okay with amending bond conditions to allow communications over cell phones, so they can still text and call. But we would ask the court to
So-
hold any in-person contact.
And Judge, we would ask to allow her to go to his sporting events. No contact with him there, but she'd like to go watch him at track.
Now, I mean, it's
And the
invariably
football.
gonna happen where she's gonna get overcome with emotion, then she's there, he's 2 feet from her.
Judge, he'd
Know
be
what I
on the
mean?
field and she'd be in
It's
the
like-
stand.
It's like holding a candy in front of a baby. I'm sorry, not a baby, but like a 13-year-old kid.
Judge,
You
I
know?
believe she could stay in the stands. and he'd
Malvo,
be
come
on-
up.
And he'd be on the field, but
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's
Jose Montes?
it's setting up for failure. I think. The only thing I want in the short life while I'm here is to protect every single complaining witness in these cases, in this county, in this state, as much as I can. And the problem is that temptation is so very high. We have at this moment a no contact order. You're not supposed to have any contact with this person. Your lawyer's asking for me now to allow you to have contact and texting privileges so that you guys can have some kind of communication. The state is still opposed to having you in-person contact. And the problem is that if you go to, and I'm inclined to, agree about in-person contact. The problem is that if we allow you to go to these sporting events and he's 2 feet away from you, the temptation is so high, it's invariably going to happen. And we're not there to see whether it happens or not. And so therein lies the problem, is that I will never be able to monitor the fact whether you actually have contact with this person or not. And that's a problem, because the last thing I want is you to pick up more cases or this person to get more hurt.
talking about in person. Y'all have him as 18?
We actually have them in the updated River Page 16.
Yes, Judge, he's 16. He's not 18.
The birth date was listed wrong.
It's okay.
And his father's in jail.
Remind me about the assault, please.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Refresh me about the assault, please. How bad?
So-
We're talking.
Yes, Your Honor. So the assault took place in June 2024, and the victim was identified, and the victim explained how his mother, the defendant, assaulted him by biting.
Biting.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah.
You see. So the victim stated his mother was angry that he was in the way, and as he was holding her 2 wrists, she raised her hand up to her mouth and raised his hand up to her mouth and bit his hand. The victim stated he felt pain, was in fear, and the victim had a visible bite mark on his hand.
Judge, the son is holding her first, just so we're clear on what's happening.
I mean.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
it does
he's
state
not
that.
quite saying that.
Well, it does
I
state
mean,
fully
what
that.
circumstances happen to where a 15-year-old grabs mom, right? I mean, perhaps they were fighting, I don't know, but the fact
Judge,
remains is that
there's been no facts and nothing in the probable cause that I've been given or that I've shown that any of this was between the mother and the son. I believe it was between my client and another lady, and the son comes and holds her. I believe that's what the
So-
facts will bear out.
he's trying to protect her. He's trying to, I guess, de-escalate the situation.
Judge, I believe that those would be facts that I would want to
Right,
try.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, and so, right, same thing, I mean,
Those would be
regardless, what we
facts that
do know,
I'd want to bear out, but it's not like she just walked. I didn't want when you're making your decision for you to be basing it on what it sounds like she walked up to him and bit him. That's not how it happened.
I get it, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Because,
you.
and, I mean, the idea is that we really want to know under what circumstances everything happens. That's why with every case that we have here, we really delve into it as deep as we can to determine, is there probable cause? What circumstance should we have as far as contact or no contact? Guys, what do you think?
Judge, we're okay with them texting and calling each other just to catch up.
What does he want? I mean, at the end of the day,
So
we need to find out what he
It's a little bit of
wants.
a complicated situation in terms of the complainant's guardian, because he is 15 and said he's living with a family friend. What we do know is that he does not want to be living with the complainant, with the defendant. He wants eventually, I think his eventual goal is to get emancipated. We do know that We talked to the person that she's living with and says that they have been texting already, so because of that, we're okay, and that they're
Are you
okay. with
texting
it.
already in violation of a no contact order? If that's the case, I mean, I've got it. We'll take issue with that.
So, this was based on the talking to this parent, she wasn't entirely sure.
Do we have a no contact order now?
I'm not. Not entirely sure. And the other thing is that we haven't confirmed that with the complainant itself, a 15-year-old, so at this point, we don't have evidence to move on a
Right.
violation of a corrective order or anything at that point. But it seems like the kid is okay with calling and texting, but hasn't.
You don't know
indicated to us
that
they
for
don't-
sure, though. You don't know that for sure, right?
And Judge, as of December 18th, 2024, there was a no contact order in place.
I hope that you're not having contact with this person. I hope. Just, let's do this. Why don't we set this off for a couple days? If you could please reach out. I want to know what he wants or she wants.
Judge. Being here in school is really hard.
I want to honor the complaining witness's wishes.
With,
This is that they just don't know.
well, Judge, can I just recount this? We've been asking them to know this. This is the very first time I was appointed, I approached you on this. You asked them the exact same questions. They've done nothing. They can't get in touch with the complaining witness. I came back on February 2nd. I came back on February 3rd. I came back on February 10th. I came back on February 11th. I came back on February
I mean,
12th.
I agree with her. That's kind of, that's,
That's why at this point, they are agreeing to have that full connection, which is what.
but you still don't know.
We have talked to the guardian, we just haven't been to go talk to the kid. The legal guardian is an aunt who does not live with the complainant. Who we're talking to was a family friend, we've talked to her, we've given her multiple calls.
So,
We just haven't been able to get.
so let's do this.
Judge,
Let's-
that's a misstatement. The sister's not the legal guardian. The son is living with a family friend right now. His father's in jail.
The complaining witness is a boy or is it a girl?
He's living with a
It's the boy.
schoolmate, Judge.
A friend from school.
He's living with a friend from
His
school.
dad dropped him
And she's
there
gonna do a
and went to
BIP. The
jail.
chief has offered a BIP and dismiss.
I get it. I understand.
A BIP and a parenting class. Sorry, he did tell me that, Judge.
I understand, but I always want to honor the complaining witness's wishes, right? So let's do this. I do find it unreasonable that they've been here as many times as they have, and you guys have been unable to do this. So what I would suggest is do this. Reach out to them and say that we're going to subpoena them to come to court if they do not get in contact with you guys. Because I agree with you that it's unreasonable to have to come back 4 or 5 times just to see. So let's set this off maybe like 3 days, 4 days. Reach out to them and say, hey, we are going to subpoena you to come to court. If you guys, all we want to know is what's going on and whether you guys want to have contact and in-person contact as well. So ask everything so that you guys don't have to come back. Anticipate every single question that they're going to want known. So that you can.
Yes, Judge.
So what we can do, so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. We can set it off 3 days, 4 days, and I'll waive your next appearance so you don't have to come here. And then she can reach out to you, phone that. Because I don't want you to have to miss work or whatnot or anything. But I have to know what they want. And I don't want to work on speculation because
Is it what my son wants or is it?
it's what the son wants. I don't care what the guardian, I don't care who the guardian is. It's what the son wants. Right. I don't care about a guardian. It's not their decision. And I think that now what, 16?
16-year-old.
He's old enough to know, right? He's almost an adult, so he's old enough to make decisions on his own at this point.
And Judge,
Okay.
I've already accepted the PTI. We will get started on that. So even by this next setting where she doesn't have to appear, excuse me, Judge, she'll already be underway on the PTI.
Okay. I mean, parenting class is probably pretty short, so it's,
It's BIP and parenting classes, Judge. I'm sorry.
What is it?
It's BIP and a
Oh,
parenting class.
BIP and a parenting class. Okay.
I'm not really sure. I've got to figure out how long they want her in BIP and talk to her about that.
Got it.
So
Okay.
you can go sit down just for a second, then we'll get your case reset, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll keep trying. Judge, I have one other one on docket today, and it's just a reset, and I've just been appointed today. Do I have to approach you on those? You've already found probable cause. It's Mr. Hall. falsifying the drug
No,
test allegation?
no,
All right, then
no.
I'll just.
Just let him know that he's gonna get drug tested about 50 days, just so he
Sure.
knows, and that's it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. G. Hey, hi Frank, how are you, man?
All right. I have Daniel Torres. I've got some new offers. I'd like to set it for a plea if that's okay. It's not a jail sentence, it's a probation offer, but
Yeah, I mean, it's 225 days old, so I'm not,
yeah,
it's old,
right.
like a couple weeks,
Okay.
and then plea.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he wants some time to get his affairs in order. We're set for trial on 4/13. I'm still waiting for the panel to come, but so I couldn't do it today. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm approaching on Samuel Jones.
Okay. In custody or on bond?
He's in custody.
So what's the online?
This will be my case.
Oh, well, your case. Oof.
Not trying to.
Is it online?
Do we need him out here?
I mean, probably not. So I'd ask the court to set his bond at a PR bond on his misdemeanor. Like, he does have a $1,500 bond in this case, and also a $2,500 bond on a felony that goes.
So he didn't get an initial PR bond?
No, he did not.
That is really weird. Let's read why, because in these cases, I would like to know why the magistrate justified in not giving the person a PR bond, because normally, nearly everyone, right? So, all right. I find by clear and convincing evidence that there are no financial conditions of bond that will suffice to reasonably assure safety of the complaining witness and public safety for the following reasons. He's on parole for unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, 9/27/25. He has an open DWI out of Calcasieu Parish, Louisiana, from 2/18/25. Allegedly, defendant had run his car into a ditch, stumbling, slurred speech, falling asleep, baggie of crack cocaine, 1.92 grams, allegedly fell out of his pocket. 6/6 HGN, 6 of 8 walk and turn, 3 of 4 one leg stand, consented to blood and breath. They took a blood draw. Can you bring out Mr. Jones, please, Samuel Jones? Hey, you want to talk to me already?
Appreciate that. Dallas Martin.
Okay.
This was the gentleman from San Diego.
Okay.
He was, I think 2 weeks ago, came down with an illness.
You set up to today. Is he here?
To the day. He's not here. He's still suffering from the same illness he was.
No, dude, I can't.
A doctor's note. He's waiting in the Zoom line. I don't want him to have a warrant because of this illness he has. It appears that he's really is suffering from some kind of a virus.
Well, he reset his case from January 6th to January 24th to February 10th and now to February 24th.
He had a plane ticket, so he bought a ticket to come down here, but is now ill. And he's got something serious going on. They put him on albuterol, a bunch of other stuff. He's got really bad wheezing, diarrhea, cough, cramps. They're trying to identify what he's got, but he doesn't know yet.
It's been.
He doesn't sound good. I told him to get on Zoom. He's in the waiting room, Judge. I don't know what else to do. I don't want him to have a warrant, get arrested out there, and then have 2 weeks go by before he's transferred.
I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Mercer, but I mean, I think I've been more than reasonable by giving him an entire month to get here. He's still not here. I guess let me finish with this gentleman and then I'll help you out. Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Good morning, sir.
Your lawyer has asked for me to set you a PR bond on this case and to let you out. You have an open felony. You have an open felony in our courts here. Can you run a full NCIC? What else besides? You have an open DWI in Calcasieu Parish. You have an open DWI in Calcasieu Parish, and you're on parole.
Your Honor, I'm just waiting for Louisiana.
Take your time. There's no rush.
And Judge, I would just ask the court to consider, Mr. Jones does have a permanent address within Houston. He lives together with his wife. He does have stable employment with Texas Steel Converter. So he does have a stable place to stay while his court case is going on as a mode of getting to court for his court dates.
Thanks.
So, Your Honor, the only out of state I do see is that pending.
How many DWIs in total do we have?
So between those two, there's no convictions, Your Honor, for DWI, just the two pending ones, this one and then the one out of Calcasieu Parish. As far though, Your Honor's other criminal history, if Your Honor would like to hear.
Sure.
He's a TDC habitual, from what I can see. Currently on parole. And now he's also charged with another third-degree felony with the crack cocaine.
So it's from a state jail, it's enhanced to a third degree?
It's a third degree because he was over the 1 degree mark.
Do we know, let me ask you this, do we know if a parole hold has been issued or if they're going to?
Let me run that, Your Honor.
Looks like
Has not been issued yet, Your Honor.
how long has he been on parole?
He got on in 2021, Your Honor. He sentenced to 5 TDC. So my guess is he's coming up short of on his parole.
Since 1995. I see in 1995, 8 cases. I see since 1997, parole violation, 99, parole violation, 12, parole violation, 20, 2 different parole violations. And now while still on parole, you have 2 open DWIs. Stop. You know, you have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right. Mr. Jones, you really, really scare me. If you watch the news every single day, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision in my county. Every single day.
Counsel for reset?
You scare me. So while I appreciate your tenacity in asking for a PR bond, I'm going to raise that bond because I think that you are a complete and utter danger to everything that we have here, man. And I cannot possibly give you a PR bond because, Mr. Jones, I don't know if you're going to get out, but I am now going to have you sign with me an affidavit. This is a document where you're going to promise me that you're not going to get into a car for any reason. I don't care what your excuse is. If you get into a car and drive, I can have a contempt hearing. Every single time you get into a car and drive, it's an offense in and of itself, punishable by up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Not only that, you will get a monitor, a leg monitor, and I'm going to put a curfew on you from 7 in the morning to 7 at night because I don't want you out in the middle of the night. You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication, and I'm going to put a square monitor so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. Do you understand?
Sir.
He has 2 open DWIs. He's on parole and he has an open 3rd-degree felony. I cannot possibly give him a VR bond. He
It's
scares
just,
me.
I just asked the board to consider that this
It's
is.
okay. I get it, but I want you to understand how serious this is. You know, it's not a joke. So please, just don't kill anyone. That's all I'm asking. Thanks. I don't know yet. Let me think and
Maybe excuse me.
please.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes, Judge. We're going to plea for Laya, Laya.
Prima Laya. Do you need a translator? Sorry?
I don't. So I told him we're waiting the interpreter and he was like, I speak English. I'm like,
Oh.
And he did undergo the 90-day ALR suspension on his license.
Good morning, Mr. Laya.
sir.
You speak English?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sufficiently well to understand everything that we're doing today? Okay. So you are charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor, so you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you've done. You need to understand that after today, this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. If you ever get pulled over, an officer's going to see this. If they come up to your window and they smell alcohol or they smell dope, it's probably not going to go well. From now on, the proverbial slap on the wrist, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail if you ever pick up another DWI. Do you understand?
Sir.
So if I were you, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car. It's a huge risk. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this, you can never change this.
Yes, sir.
You sure you want to do this? How do you plead to the DWI? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty or not guilty?
Did you understand everything I just said to you? No. Did you understand everything I just told you?
Yes, sir.
What are we doing?
Everything.
What are we doing right now?
I understand, but.
What are we doing?
Judge, I think his hesitation was the finality of pleading guilty. I've had that with other.
What rights are you giving up by doing this today?
So you give it your right to appeal, your right for trial.
So I think that we need to get a translator.
Okay.
You know, quiero saber que entiendes, porque si no entiendes, vamos a tener problemas.
Ya, te entiendo.
No entiendes porque yo te estoy haciendo preguntas y no me puedes contestar. ¿Qué está pasando?
That's good. I need to translate. Okay, toma asiento más.
Toma asiento.
Thanks, Judge.
Mr. Mercer, coming up.
And you'll have to forgive me because I am also suffering from some kind of.
As am I. But we're both still at work.
And I don't like that he's put me in this position, and I certainly wouldn't represent to the court that.
I understand, but.
I didn't truly believe it.
But here's the thing. I have to be fair. And I cannot continue to do the same thing that I wouldn't do to anyone else, right? Because I have to be fair to you and I have to be fair to them as well. And we have certain obligations here. And me continuing to let him do what he's doing is showing favorable treatment to you guys. And it's not fair. So at some point, I have to say, okay, if you're not going to be here because you don't want to spend the money to come here, I get that you have an excuse that you're sick, but it's already been a month. Most people, they take antibiotics and then they're better. If you're not, then you go to the hospital and you're stuck in the hospital if you have something that serious, right?
I do think it's that serious. I do think it's something that they haven't been able to identify. They put him on another set of antibiotics.
But you can still make it here, right? You're on a course of antibiotics, wear a mask and come here. If you don't want to get on a plane, take a bus, you can drive. But so I guess what I can do is I can give you one more week, but I'm not gonna do anything other than that.
Okay, I'll make it
So,
to him.
I don't
I don't like the position he's put me in. I don't like to be sitting here
it's,
begging from.
and I understand, look, you have to tenaciously defend your client, Stan, but I'm not gonna do this again. I promise you,
Understood.
if he's not here next week, exactly 1 week from today,
Yes, sir.
then I'm gonna revoke his bond. I've been more than gracious to give you a month and a half now. It's just not, it's
Yes,
not,
sir.
I can't.
I will tell him a week from today, your bond will be revoked.
If he's not here on both of his cases, and tell him it's gonna end up being probably like 10,000 and over $10,000 that his bonds are gonna be set.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, Judge.
okay, of course.
Judge, we have a THA overlooked.
Okay, give me a second, let me talk to Ricardo then. Who is it?
They're bringing him out. But there's an inmate on that case.
A THA on,
Sorry, for Ricardo, his person's in custody.
okay, they're bringing him out?
Yeah.
Okay. Ricardo,
Yes, Judge. I'm confused. Is mine THA or?
Yes.
no, I think it's, who's someone else's THA, right?
Got it. He has a fugitive or something, but I'm saying separately, there's a THA.
Okay, who is it?
Understood.
Yes, let me get them because,
Okay.
who is it?
All right, Judge, page 10, Daniels. Dante.
Dante Daniels. Do you have bond conditions on Mr. Addison? Are they in there? So we can get him out of here. Mr. Addison, come on up. We'll get you out of here. I don't see it.
They were filing it right now, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not up yet. They're just now filing it. Oh,
Judge, approaching on Mr. DeAndre Baptiste.
Mr. Kim,
Hi, Judge.
good morning. How are you?
Morning. I'm all right. How are you, Judge?
Pretty good.
Yes, well, Mr. Kim's on Zoom. I'm approaching, I've spoken with my client. My client would like me to approach to ask for a bond so he could go and turn himself into the demanding jurisdiction, Worcester County, Maryland. And so
What's the last name?
His last name is Mr. Baptiste, B-A-P.
Good morning, Mr. Baptiste.
Good morning. How you doing?
So I don't know, I don't know anything about you. I don't know what you're wanted for. I don't know what kind of criminal history you have. A lot of times, whether we give a bond to someone depends on what they're charged with, what kind of criminal history they have. I know that you're going to tell me it's little bunnies jumping in the woods, but everybody tells me this guy's purple, blue, black. So, but paper really tells me who you are because that's how we get to know you in the short time that we have.
No problem.
Mr. Kim, would you like to tell me about him?
Your Honor, he's wanted out of Yavapai County, Arizona for 6 charges, including fraudulent schemes and artifices.
Wrong case.
Wrong case.
Oh, sorry, wrong case. He's wanted out of Pasco, Florida for battered prior.
Wrong case.
Oh, for 2, man.
Where are the ones?
Baptiste.
Maryland.
Hold on 1 second, please. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I was reading a different warrant. Okay, he's wanted out of Worcester County, Maryland for theft, but he's wanted out of 6 charges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 charges, including fraudulently intending another's identity to use that information to obtain a value of item and currency totaling a little north of $80,000. He's currently on a deferred adjudication for an aggravated assault. And prior to entering in the deferred adjudication, but after he was charged, he was also charged with carrying a handgun in a motor vehicle. State would be opposed to a bond, Judge.
So, okay, you went kind of fast on. So he has 6 open charges in Maryland or just 2?
Yes. So he has 1 count of $21,455.50. He has another count of $10,700. He has another count of $10,695.50. Another count of $42,851. One count of fraudulently intending a possession of personally identifying information, and another of fraudulently intending to obtain another item of or identity, assuming an identity of another individual to obtain an item of value.
Are all these? Is it like a theft from a person?
It was a fictitious wire transfer for at least one of them. I'm looking at the affidavits. One is routed through
Do we
PNC
have
Bank.
actual complaining witnesses or victims, especially on the one that's like a 40,000 gig?
That one I can hold on. Here's an account withdrawal. I mean, I can't tell if it's from the bank or from another. If I could just have 30 seconds, I'll take a look at the.
And how old are these cases? Are they new or are they old?
These are relatively new, Judge. This one is from June of 2023. So obviously it was after he entered in the deferred adjudication for the aggravated assault. Obviously violating his conditions of the aggravated assault. But
let me tell you the problem that I have, Mr. Baptiste. And the way you conduct yourselves in court and the way that you conduct yourself while you're on probation tells me a lot of who you are and whether you will submit and comply with court orders. Because one of the things that we have is when I give you a bond, you have to go turn yourself in to the demanding jurisdiction within 2 weeks.
That's no problem.
Great. Well, the first thing I did was I wanted to look through your history with the probation that you're on. And in the first thing that I pulled up in this bond violation report, I have here, 5th violation report submitted for failing to report to the bond unit as scheduled. This is the alleged probation that you're on.
That was waived.
Stop. I don't want you to explain anything. The only thing I'm trying to impart to you is the way that you've been on your probation and the fact that you've picked up the 6 cases in Maryland in 23 or 24, whatever it is, and the amount that it is, tells me that it scares me to give you a bond because I don't think that you will comply. And it's unfortunate because I don't like to keep people in, but the reality is paper tells me who you are. And all those bond violation reports, the 6 new cases.
Sorry. Things, if I may, the 6 cases, it doesn't make a distinction whether there's 6 separate transactions or it's all one happening at one time. And so he hasn't been able to answer for that. This is only from 2023. He would like an opportunity to do so. He is going to work out his felony case when he gets there up there tomorrow. He's going to have a chance to work it out. I don't know if he'll be able to work it out or not, but it's his first opportunity to do so tomorrow. If he makes bond up there, would you consider giving a bond then? No.
It's just the way that the probation has played out. And the fact that he has 6 here, I think in my heart of hearts, if I set you a bond, that it's just, you're not going to show up. You're going to do what you want to do because that's what history tells us.
Okay.
Sorry.
I understand you. Thank you.
Okay.
Question. Would you mind explaining to me?
This is not, no. This isn't where you get to do what you want to do.
Let's go. All right, thank you.
Ask your lawyer, and then if it's something, you can talk.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Wait, sorry. Oh, was it?
We're waiting on an interpreter on the other one, Dave.
Okay, are you done with Young though?
Yes, Young is interpreter's here. He's right there. Oh, Lenny. Okay.
So,
You want
ready when you are.
to take care of Dave? We got to bring my guy out. So let's let Mr. Adroga go first.
Let's go. You ready?
Yes.
Leia, L-A-Y.
Yo te voy a interpretar, caballero.
You need to understand what we're doing today is very, very serious. You make a lifetime decision today. I don't feel that you were understanding what I was telling you in English. It's that way because I don't want you to have to come back and say, I didn't know what was happening. That way you fully understand. You were pleading guilty to this DWI. This DWI will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life.
a estar ahí para el resto de tu vida.
What we're doing today
Estamos haciendo aquí
probably not happen again, because from now on, you are facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. If you ever pick up another DWI,
90 días en la cárcel si agarras otro
give
marca
up a lot of rights by entering to this agreement.
los derechos,
You give up the right to a trial,
renunciando al derecho a un juicio,
right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf,
declarar en parte tuya,
confront and cross-examine your accusers.
la están acusando.
If you are not a citizen,
no
there
eres
are
ciudadano,
possible immigration consequences.
consecuencias posibles de
You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law.
bajo la ley federal.
The most important part, Mr. Leah, is that you give up the right to appeal. This becomes a final conviction today. You can never come back and try to change this.
Regresar, decir,
Do you understand?
¿entendió?
Yes, sir.
If you get deported in the
Si te
future,
deportan en
or
el
they're trying to
futuro,
deport you,
o
you
tratan
can
de
never say, I
deportarte,
didn't know that this DWI was going to trigger that.
manejar
That
bajo
ends
ebrio,
today.
esta convicción no iba a causar eso, y
Understand?
eso termina hoy,
Sí, señor.
¿entendió?
Yes, sir.
Eso.
Is it true or
Sí.
untrue that you had a 0.15 or above?
Soplaste un punto 1.5 o más. ¿Es cierto o no?
Es cierto.
It's true.
Okay.
Esto. Yes, sir.
One more thing you need to understand, Mr. Leah.
Una cosa más que tienes que entender.
DWI is big business.
Dejar intoxicado es un negocio grande.
You are allowed to make mistakes,
Y te permiten hacer
but you can't
equivocaciones.
continue to make mistakes when you endanger other people's lives.
Seguir haciendo esta equivocación sabiendo que
That's when
siendo otra persona en peligro.
jail time starts coming in.
Empiezan a darte
That's
tiempo
when
para-
big money
y
comes.
eso es cuando el
A second DWI,
carro te va
it's a $6,000 surcharge that tacks on to you,
intoxicado.
not to mention the minimum of 90 days.
$6,000 no.
So if I were you, if you ever drink even a sip of alcohol, don't get behind the wheel.
No te pongas a manejar.
How do you plead to the driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Algo no.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail. Is it 2 days credit? Give you credit for the 2 days that you've done. I'm now going to suspend your license for 90 days.
Te suspendo la
And Judge, would you
licencia.
run it CC with the ALR suspension?
Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
But I'm acquiescing, I'm sorry, so I am agreeing to your lawyer's demands. There's absolutely
Estaba pidiendo
no
favor.
excuse.
No hay
If
ninguna.
you pick up another DWI,
Si agarras
get
otro
ready, because I will
DWI,
bring it.
manejar intoxicado.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
¿Entendió?
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
These are requests, not never a demand, Judge. I appreciate it.
I believe you. Ricardo, you ready?
Yeah, the will approach on Mr. Vasos Miranda. Thank you.
So what's that? This gentleman speaks English or Spanish?
Spanish, please. Español.
What's his last name?
It's hyphenated Vasos Miranda.
¿Cuál es tu apellido?
Vasos Miranda.
Pasos Miranda.
Yeah.
So tell me what we're doing with this.
Judge, this is a fugitive case. Mr. Day, I believe, is on Zoom. I am requesting to see if you would consider giving him a bond so he can go turn himself into,
para que él se entregue
it's Yerpe County, Arizona.
a Yerpe, el condado de Yerpe en Arizona.
The lawyer is asking for me to set you a bond, Mr. Pasos Miranda. I don't know.
No sé.
I have to look at several things to see whether you would be a good candidate.
A ver si eres buen candidato.
Number one, whether you would actually go back.
¿no?
Number two, are you a danger to our public?
Segundo, eres.
So, Mr. Kim, tell me about Mr. Pasos, please.
Quiero saber sobre el señor Pasos, señor Ken.
Yes, Judge. This is the one from Yavapai County, Arizona.
Es que este es de Page County, Arizona.
And he's wanted for charges of fraudulent schemes and artifices.
Por
Wait, fraudulent what?
Schemes and artifices. This is just how it's written.
Schemes and artifices?
Fraudulent conspiracy to commit fraudulent schemes and artifices.
Okay.
Fraude,
One count of computer tampering,
artificios, parece.
one count of theft,
Una cuenta de alterar computadoras.
and one count of
hurto,
criminal damage.
uno de daños
So
criminales.
4 total counts.
But it's out of the same transaction, Judge, on
Sí,
March 20,
por la misma
2023.
transacción que ocurrió en marzo 20 de 2023.
State would be opposed to a bond.
El Estado no quiere no está de acuerdo con una fianza.
For these charges, it looks
Para esta
like
acusación.
he
Parece
messed
que
with fuel
él
pumps at a mini mart.
Estaba haciendo algo con las bombas de petroleras ahí en un minimart,
To include computer tampering,
incluyendo que estabas alterando algo con computadoras.
but 1 year after he committed these offenses, he
Un año
also was
después
charged
que
here
cometió este delito, también lo acusaron aquí.
for a similar offense of violating motor
Mismo
fuel tax
ofensa
requirements.
por violar los requerimientos de impuestos de petróleo y de
And-
vehículos.
And briefly before that,
Y antes de
for
eso,
a misdemeanor charge of theft, but again,
un delito
regarding
menor de
fuel.
hurto, pero igualmente era de
He
petróleo.
also has a prior fugitive case, I see.
Tiene un caso antes de
I
fuga.
didn't see that when I pulled it up.
From 10/31/24, I see a prior fugitive case out of the same jurisdiction.
La misma jurisdicción.
Yavapai County.
Yavapai County.
So he's been before you is what you're
No,
saying?
it would happen if he was
lo que
a
dice
fugitive and he
que
was
era
apprehended by
fugitivo
another
y
state.
agarró otro estado.
It could have been by this warrant or another warrant.
Puede haber sido esta orden de arresto o otra.
Oh,
Una
But, be-
otra orden de
but
arresto.
because it's resolved, that's why it's closed on our end. And I
but let me
can't
ask you
find
this.
it.
Did he know about this in 2024? Because if he did, I'm not giving him a bond.
He's saying he didn't know, Judge.
I see state jail. So I see a fugitive case and I see a state jail sentence of 7 months, both on the same time out of work.
Estatal de 7 meses.
So it looks like there
Entonces,
possibly could have been something that he pled to in Wharton County.
se declaró
He got
algo
also
en
hit with
Wharton
fugitive
County.
case.
Y le
Because he
dio un
got
caso
7 month sentence, they
fugitivo y
probably,
como recibiste 7 meses.
Fugitive case.
No fueron.
This is a lot of, we don't really know what happened.
So let's do this. Let's roll it to tomorrow.
I've had him in felony,
Dice
and
que
I
yo
know that he
estado
pled
en el
to
caso
the
de
7 month
felonía.
stay jail.
Sé que
And then
te
he was brought over
declaraste
to Harris
culpable.
I don't know if that helps, but
7 meses.
I
en la
Represent him on the fuel tax in the 185th?
cárcel. Ahí es
Yes.
donde voy
Oh my
a-
He
goodness.
did.
What are the
That's just
odds?
opportune.
Huh?
That's why I'm like, if,
Just go play the lottery.
so, if that help, I don't know if that helps, but he was
So-
brought over.
Ella fue
from-
tu abogado, dice.
Sí,
Está hablando.
Did he do 7 months state jail? Because I show a sentence
No,
of
that's
7
still
months.
pending. So they're
No,
going to
dice que
send
se
him,
está pendiente.
Still pending.
right.
7 meses de
Yes.
cárcel.
I know.
No,
Sorry.
there is ya terminaste, because when I had him, there was a hold. ¿Ya terminaste con el caso in Wharton County?
Yes.
Okay, because when I had him, he still had a hold. If there is no more
They
hold, that means.
run an
they're sending-
NCIC?
Yes.
No.
I don't
so-
show another hold right now. I mean, there might be a warrant, but it's not attached to a spin that I can see.
It was
Ellos
there
no
when
ven
I had
ninguna
him.
What did he have in Wharton County?
Que tenía
If anything.
other words. Tenía algo.
It would have been a credit card or debit abuse. He was
Creo que
convicted
abuso de tarjeta de crédito o de.
on
It's
October
the same
15,
thing over and
2024.
over and over, you know? It's over and over.
Y dice que no lo puede hacer porque es la
They-
misma cosa de
it's-
vuelta y de
It
vuelta.
appears to me that Mr. Pasos Miranda
Gracias.
continues to pick up the case
Sigue
over
agarrando
and over
los
and
mismos
over.
casos.
These fuel tax
Igual,
violations
igual,
where they
igual,
they allegedly get, you know what I mean? So we've got one in Wharton, we've got one here, now we've got one in Yavapai County.
En Yavapai County.
So is it because of the types of cases he's picking up, or
Not
are we
this
going
one,
back?
but
People, the
it's- it keeps happening.
Okay.
Like,
Sí,
it's,
no es por el tipo de caso, es porque sí es
it's over and over and over for the last three plus years.
What I was gonna
Mismo
do,
por
I
3
thought we
años,
were
sí.
going in a manner where I needed to figure out if he was aware of the warrant or not, but if that's not the case and it doesn't make a difference.
Judge, may I jump in again?
Of
They,
course.
it looks like they lifted the hold
Parece que
on 218.
te quitaron.
If I'm looking on the DA portal,
el 2.
they placed a
18.
hold on him
Porque
on
pusieron una
October
orden de
31st,
detención el
2024 for that
31 de
sentence for
octubre
7
para
months
la
state jail.
sentencia de
And then
7
they lifted
meses.
that hold
Después lo
on 218.
levantaron en
So he's
2,
done with that
18.
as of
Él ya
218.
terminó con el 18.
Yes,
de
I can show
febrero.
it to you. Well, I don't know if I can.
How?
show- Because he came in on a warrant, so his time would have
Él
ran
vino en
concurrent
una
while he was in
orden
Harris
de
County
arresto.
and we were
Entonces,
working
So
out.
you know what it is? It must have been, you know, how on out-of-county cases, they give you the 10-day, right? And if they don't come pick you up, they release the whole within 10 days. That's what. it's
No,
probably-
well, so sorry, Judge. For this one, for the one on February 18th, that's for our 185th violation of motor fuel tax. That one, the release hold was on February 18, 2025. And then that triggered the in-county extradition for likely Wharton County for the out-of-county. That one was released on February 21st, 2025.
La orden esa te la quitaron.
But effectively, both of them, because they're state jail, it would have run concurrent. And at this point, based on when he was taken in, it's likely time served.
Which would be taking care of the Wharton County, and Wharton County is no longer in play because of the time he spent.
We don't
in
know
here.
that for sure, though.
We know that, well, yeah.
You know, right? So let's do this. Can we roll it to tomorrow and you can try to figure out?
Yeah, let
So
me
we have
figure
a
out.
concrete, you know?
Let me get everything in place. I'll roll it, try to get some confirmation on Wharton and figure out if he had knowledge of this case out there.
I mean, I have a concern if he knows that this is open, because it's been open since 23.
Right.
Él sabe, de hecho está abierto desde
I have a problem.
I get it.
2023
I'm gonna continue to like let him slide when he knows it's open.
Let me get all this in place and we'll reapproach. Okay, let's do that.
Bueno, deja de hablar con él.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Do we have anything else, Mr. Kim, today?
No, I think that was the last one, Judge. I don't think there's anything left on my docket, so I'll go ahead and submit the rest of the resets.
Got it. Okay, thanks, friend.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Hi. Are you ready?
Well, that wasn't confusing at all.
You know, anytime you get stuff where there's in county versus out of state, it just there's just so many rules that just kind of
Judge, I'm
clears mud.
No, I know. I've seen those issues and have dealt with just enough to know I don't enjoy them.
Is our guy on docket today?
No, well, he's on docket, but he's here present in court. He made bond, so that, I guess that gets rid of the issue about having to.
Come on up.
BVR.
Last name again is?
Gomez, and it's Matthew Gomez. You may have a couple on the docket. And did invite us to rehear PC this morning. The case I know is 183 days old. I have talked with the state. They're still trying to work with felony to see if they would approve him to do a mental health PTI, which we thought was appropriate.
Mental health in the case upstairs or
Here.
our case?
Yes.
Are you ready for a PC? Place?
So, Your Honor, I think RJ was reading of it. I didn't know if you want the actual officer here or not.
No. This is just cursory, but I want to know if you're ready for any arguments or whatnot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're not addressing the new one whatsoever.
Yeah. No. That's
Holmes.
Tell me. Go for it. Alex, please.
On August 25th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a complaint unknown call at Harris County, Texas, with the call slip stating the following. The caller was rambling and refused to answer questions. The caller advised he has warrants for arrest and wants police to pick him up before he does something. The caller states he will be waiting outside the location for police. The caller was irate and upset. The caller was making threats towards police, stating they better be strong because he was going to fight and don't dispatch female officers. The officer arrived on scene and immediately noticed the defendant coming out of his house in an aggressive manner. The defendant took off his shirt and hat and was coming towards the officer quickly and was trying to get the officer to physically fight him. The defendant repeatedly stated he wanted the officer to fight him, and the officers immediately drew their tasers and began giving the defendant verbal commands. The defendant repeatedly refused to comply with the verbal commands and continued telling the officer and his partner to put their tasers away so they could fight him. The officer took the defendant to the ground by tackling him and used force to put the defendant's hands behind his back. The defendant was physically resisting and yelling the entire time. The officer then got the defendant into handcuffs and moved him to the side of the patrol vehicle. The officer's partner held the defendant against the vehicle while the officer conducted a search. The defendant was still refusing to comply with verbal commands and was physically resisting. The officer then assisted the defendant into the patrol vehicle using the minimal amount of force necessary, and the defendant was kicking the officer's legs and still refusing to comply.
Did they find anything? You said they searched, but they didn't find anything?
There's no notes, no finding anything or completing the search, and they only know that they arrested him on the warrants as well as the additional resisting charge.
What warrant did he have?
He had municipal.
I'll give you a second.
Municipal
I'll-
warrants, Your Honor.
Just municipal?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, but I think a couple things are, and I know that's the DA's summary of the longer dims. And the longer dims notes reflect that when the officers got to the scene where they had been asked to come out and make an arrest and, or been asked to come out and told there's warrants, but they get there and they don't have a chance to confirm anything or find out who he is or any of that stuff. But what's written in their longer dims report, the officers write down, he asked us to put our tasers away and fight him. And so it says in there that the officers made the decision to put their tasers away and go hands-on with him. And so that is.
You're saying, you're telling me that they agreed to fight him?
It's what they wrote.
Can you imagine how much possible trouble they would get if they would agree to something like that?
And I don't think that it's agree to fight him in the sense that, I'm not saying the officers did anything wrong whatsoever. I'm saying when you arrive on the scene and somebody says, I have warrants, we know that's not enough as a legal matter to make an arrest. I could walk up and say, I've got warrants to our deputy. I can't be arrested for that. Maybe he can go back and find out more information, but that's
Sure.
not enough.
I think that that's reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then the conduct is not that he comes up and starts fighting with the officers, but invites them to engage in physical contact. And I give them credit for putting their tasers away like he requested, but they write in there, we did exactly what he said. We put our tasers away and then decided to go hands-on with the suspect. It's 2-on-1.
But I don't think the reasonable interpretation would be that they are agreeing to fight.
Well,
I don't think that that's reasonable because I can't imagine how much trouble they would get in, you know? They'd be fired.
To me, it's not about whether no one over here, and I don't think the state is either, is saying that the officers did anything wrong. I think we're assessing his conduct, and he has the right, as does anybody, it's just First Amendment protected speech, to invite someone to engage in physical conduct. And if they do, that's not him resisting arrest. And I don't really even think that that's the kind of the basis of the charge. They can't even arrest him because there's nothing to arrest him for at that moment. If you ran his name and found out the warrants and found out he did have active warrants, you could arrest him. But there's nothing for them to even arrest him for at that moment. And just walking up and saying, hey, I want to fight you, that's not enough to be placed under arrest. But what happens is they get him and get control of him and then start searching him. But pursuant to what? I mean, there's nothing. They still haven't verified.
No, I think that it's so difficult to be a police officer nowadays, you know?
I understand.
A fine line that you have to walk between because of social media,
Sure.
because of cameras, because of just the way that the public policy and people come down on officers and how they react to situations and how they can get in trouble themselves. That if you see a person who's not acting normal, they're having like a mental health episode, how do you quell that down? Do you tase them? Because we know that we've got situations where officers go rogue and they just start kill them.
No, well, we've seen it too many times. And
it sucks. It's sad,
and I'm not criticizing the officers one bit about that. If it's the case that he tells them, when you get here, I want to fight. And when they get there, he says, I want to fight. And put your tasers up and fight me. And they put their tasers up and decide to go hands-on with him. I respect them for having done it.
I would like to know, because I'm not prepared to rule on this. What I would like to know is, what is the policy of the department when you have a person who's having a mental health episode? How do you handle that? Do you arrest them as like a community caretaking, right? Because in an effort to prevent them from hurting themselves or hurting another person? Do you arrest them, right? Or what do you do? Because I don't know. So, because that's what's happening here. We have someone clearly who's having a mental health
Well,
episode.
and you see why I thought mental health PTI is the appropriate route.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So, and I don't mind being patient while you think about that and I go back and.
Like to know what the officer's mindset, number one, at the time of when this episode is happening. Number two, what is the policy when you have this kind of thing happening? What do you do? I don't know. You know?
Sure.
Do you arrest them in an effort to prevent them from hurting themselves? Because who's to say they might have a gun that you don't know about that's stuck right here that they're they're just gonna start shooting?
Well, but I do think that it doesn't mean that he has done something legally wrong to elicit the words, this is what I'd like to do, and wait. It'd be one thing if he comes and starts attacking them, but to say, put your tasers up and fight me, and they say, taser up. We go hands on. Hands on for what?
I think that was extremely brave of the
Well,
officers.
and I'm-
You know, I give them so much credit because I mean, who's to say that he doesn't have a gun behind his back and they just don't know, and they're trusting him that he's going to act honorably and not take a gun from behind and kill him.
That's what they said, Your Honor. They actually used less force than.
Yeah,
would have been.
really. God, that was freaking awesome.
Again, this is not criticism whatsoever.
Yeah, I understand.
But
I understand.
The question is, what legally did he do wrong in that moment? One, to support a detention. Two, to allow for an arrest. And I don't know that there's enough for that. Or either one of those. It may be enough to, I mean, I don't know if I walked up to our bailiff and said I have warrants, if that's enough for him to even detain me. I mean, there's just no corroboration whatsoever.
So if you have someone that's coming up to you and threatening to assault you, right? Is that a crime?
Well, yes, but that's not the same.
There you go.
Well, no, that's not the same thing, Judge, because I can walk up to somebody and say, hey, would you like to fight? And that's different. That's not threatening to
You
assault.
have to take the circumstances into account. There's a totality here. You
Well-
can't just take the statement in and of itself. The person's having a mental health episode. They're irate, right? You don't know what they're capable. You've never met them before. If I know you and you ask me to fight, that's a different question.
Well, but I don't know.
Versus I've never met him.
Turns on.
He's got warrants. He may have a freaking murder warrant out.
Sure. Well, but
They
in
know
order
about
to-
it because it's on the call slip.
Well, they know that he said that.
Okay.
They hadn't verified it.
I understand, but it's still there and it's still in their mind. Damn, this guy's, there's a crisis here. How do we avert this crisis from happening?
And I respect that portion of it, for sure. But from analyzing whether or not there's probable cause to support the elements of this charge, I think that's where our focus really is at.
There's so many like branches to this thing. I can't possibly rule right now.
No, fair enough. And I appreciate that.
And I think just from the state's perspective, I know that we want to get a little more information on. I respect that. I think you have, just looking at the totality of the circumstances here, you have a call slip that says someone is, I think what the exact thing was,
Yes, warrants.
rambling and refusing to answer questions. He's advising he has warrants for his arrest and wants someone to pick him up before he does something. States he's waiting outside. He was irate, making threats towards people. They, at the bare minimum, have someone that could be a danger to themselves or others. They go out, and I know this is somewhat peculiar to say, but he approaches them in an aggressive manner with his shirt off, saying, "Come on and fight me." I would argue at the bare minimum, they have the right to detain him. A, to confirm those warrants, because they can't confirm those warrants without actually speaking to him, getting his ID, that kind of thing. B, then they're just saying, "Come on and fight me," to a uniformed police officer. I know you're not ready.
There's just too much. There's too much.
That's,
Well, you're incapable of verifying the warrants because of the episode that's happening. So
But the actual charge in terms of the elements of this case are that he resisted a search being effected at the end of the fight. And all I saw there with respect to that portion of it was totally conclusory. And so that's where we think the PC falls apart on the element side of just this particular charging issue. And, but I want to again make it abundantly clear that
we're not criticizing the officer whatsoever.
I know you. I get, no one is.
It is a complicated situation.
Taking it in any,
But we did think, and that's why the case has gotten to be 180 days old. I think we're at 182 right now, is because I've been trying to find out more and trying to work to get him approved for the mental health PTI, because that kind of
is now what happened upstairs going to throw a wrench in it?
Yes, it has currently. They're going to reapproach felony and see if they'll still allow us to go down that route. But I think it's really the most appropriate route. And I'm not going to go into that case upstairs, but the allegation in that case, and I think legislature's made that a second-degree felony, if I'm not mistaken, assault of a peace officer. But the allegation is that his thumb.
Second degree.
Wow, the legislature made it a second degree now?
Yes, Judge.
Yep. And
holy moly.
And I understand. Wow. But the allegation upstairs is, and I know there's different components to that whole fact pattern, but the allegation made the basis of the assault is that when they were trying to reposition his handcuffs, his elbow hit the officer's thumb. So it's not.
Oh, I thought here when they were reading it, they were saying like he was kicking and screaming and kind of
On
like.
the older case, Your Honor, he was. On the newer assault case is whenever they tried to put restraints on him, he pulled away and struck the officer's thumb with his elbow. That's for the felony, Your Honor.
It'll be interesting to see if there's body cam to see what the nature of that pull was, right? Because that's ultimately, the case lives and dies on probably that,
But
right?
from my perspective, and I hope that felony is in agreement with this when they learn kind of more about it, and it's a brand new case for them. But when they learn more about it, I hope that everyone agrees that if there's mental health issues, then we solve that problem. So this young man isn't back here. And if he gets resources.
We're very lucky, my friend. Very lucky. People have died for a lot less. You got to be very careful in today's society. You never know who has a gun. I have a friend of mine that had a person that was road raging behind him. Just because he wasn't driving fast enough, the guy comes out, gets a knife and stabs him. Did nothing just because he was driving slow. You never know who you're going to run into these days, man. You run into the wrong person for a lot less, they'll shoot you ass dead. Gotta be careful, man.
And the advice that I've heard you say it in different ways is don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. And
life's just too short, man. You get one crack at it. Once it's gone, it's gone. All right. I'll do whatever you want to do. I'm not ready to rule in it yet.
But I do think also I was asked to get bond conditions put in place while he's on a new bond. And what I'd like is the same old bond conditions. What
do we have now?
Any new offense, don't consume alcohol or
just be good. 99% people lose self-control. That's why they're in jail. No self-control. You got to think. If I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? You got maybe a nanosecond to think about it. But that's what it's about. That's what makes you mature. Look at all those freaking old guys in there. Never grew up. Never grew up. And they'll never go. Yeah, I'll stick with the same bond conditions. Just no alcohol, no dope. Don't use, man. Is he taking any medication now?
No.
Okay, just be careful, man. Self-control. Got it? Just stay in touch. All will be good.
Yeah, it's been great contacting me, Joe.
Okay, I believe it. Okay, Mr. Gomez, good luck.
Thank you as always. Thank you, guys.
It's called the Island Railway Company. Can you take his call? You want to do him and then take the call?
How much time, how long will the leave on this book?
3 weeks.
Judge, on Mr. Alberto Pasos Miranda, the fugitive case, the Warren County issue, he'd like to waive.
Oh, he wants to waive?
Yeah, do I just get him to sign back there, or do you need?
Yeah. No, I don't need to explain to him. You can do it.
I explained.
Yeah. I believe.
I'll get him to sign back there and we'll just.
And then, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, the next one is Mr. Nehemias Decklid.
Is it in custody or on bond?
In custody. Last name Decklid, E-C. Mr. Decklid.
Is it under a different name? I don't see.
Hyphenated Decklid Morales.
Oh. Okay.
On this one, I was told I needed to approach because he picked up this new case and he had one previously.
Wow. Here's a nice hole.
Yes.
You might bring him up, please. Do you need a translator?
Do we need an interpreter? He speaks Spanish.
You need an interpreter?
Well, he speaks Spanish. He does,
No, you
yeah.
don't.
He needs an interpreter, yeah.
So Judge, do you want the call or you want to wait?
Yeah, do it.
Just go around for me.
Hello, it's Judge Fleischer. Hey. Maybe. How can I help you? No, no. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me put you on hold for a second. Hold on. Hey, how do I put someone on hold?
You just
Oh, that. Oh.
So you want it transferred to your office?
I'm gonna go back.
Oh, wait, you're gonna transfer it to me.
I would leave. But I have
Well, they put wave down here.
Oh, she would.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I'm getting confused.
Technically, she should have. Yeah. I think it was good.
Okay.
I think he's okay with signing with the general account, but usually they hand his paper.
Okay.
You can sign it all the time. So what do you think? It's been a while since you've been back.
It's been a while since then.
Yes. They wanted to see if you could email this to me. Yeah. So just sign it, I'll email it to them. Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't want to because I was like, I wanted them to answer me. Yeah.
That's what that was about. That's for.
So 331 for that. What about Fairman? Cabin?
Correct.
Let me see this. Let's see, Costas Miranda's done. You guys got deal, guys, but please. The one that I'm waiting on.
Is it stuff here yet? Is it?
Yes, for, Terrell Sure and Diedrich.
No, I want to get Mr. Addison out of here.
Yes.
Is it show? I don't. Okay,
There.
Mr. Addison, come on. You've been waiting a long time. Let's get you out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that up here.
We done?
Almost.
Are you guys?
Yes.
You guys sign for your bond.
Just
So just go ahead and
cross out
sign.
more side, bottom of page 10. You want to circle back
Oh,
around?
we need to talk about Delcy Morales tonight. Oh, we don't have a chance later. Interpreter. Say.
So I said one. Bottom of page 10. No, I think it's right. Oh,
Is this person here?
I'm not sure.
If they're not here, 5,001. Dante Daniels?
This is talking conditions that you just signed. If you have any questions about this, you can talk to the attorney about it. And this is what it say. Long to come in, that's trying to look good for you. Okay? No, you just really contact the attorney.
What is your last name, sir?
Okay. You have a good one.
You know who that? Sir, what is your last name?
Oh, Judge, he's a no PC. Blaze just emailed DVD about it. And I emailed counsel multiple times and I haven't heard back. Bottom of page 24.
Yeah.
Terrell, sure.
Yes.
You're just gonna sign through the bond condition, so you're gonna sign through the bond condition, and I'm gonna copy that. It's what one over the second. You're talking to Chen? You already talked to your friend? Have you already talked to your friend? No?
Well, yes.
Yeah, I think to.
You remember, okay. It's a dog gate. Yeah.
But I think it's 11.
In the other one?
You look disappointed.
No. I'm just.
Also, jury trials for tomorrow.
We should bond conditions for your employees. And make sure to go over the next step. If you have any questions, please contact us. Those are the things for your bond, okay? Yes. Here's your visa. You won't need, no, you will. Do you not do that remote appropriate 17?
Or maybe he'll get it.
Go.
Yeah.
I can roll and see. Okay.
Can we go through the list?
Yes, sir. So you said bottom of page 10?
Yeah, 5,001.
Next judge is page 11. Davis, Zeta. Council emailed me and said they were waiting on the contract. I emailed and asked them to approach. That's all I got.
What page?
Bottom of page 11.
Person show up today?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
I guess let's wait for,
Dante, oh.
okay, come up, Mr. Daniels. Mr. Daniels, do you have a lawyer today?
Sherma, she was gonna represent me, but I guess me and another girl, we waiting on her in felony court.
Are you going to hire her?
Yeah, I was gonna hire her today.
How old are you?
33.
You have a job?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Just started working, but
Let me see, hold on a second. Have you applied for an appointed lawyer before?
yeah, I had, but last year. I just started
Hold
working.
hold on, let me see. Did you want to apply for one now?
I might as well.
Let's do this. It's already late. So I'm going to give you an application.
Okay.
I'll send you home with it, fill it out, come back, and then we can appoint you someone, because it's kind of late now already. Most of the lawyers are gone.
Yeah, I think Sherman.
So, just fill out the application and I'm willing to give you a lawyer,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
But come back and then let me take a look at it and then, okay? Okay, man. Just let him pick a date, whatever day he wants within the next 2 weeks.
This way. All right, so your option is to come back on March 3rd or March 10th. Go ahead and sign this stuff. Right, there you go.
Thank you. See y'all later.
All right, Judge, bottom of page 11, how much time, because they're asking for more time for the contract.
What do you mean? Oh, can you look at the last name Davis? I want to make sure that everything's been submitted.
Jada?
Yeah, Jada, right? Yeah.
Davis is, just want to double check. See where we are.
Assuming everything's been submitted, a couple weeks, like normal.
In your honor, he has been approved.
But have they submitted everything? It's over 200 days.
Everything,
That's okay.
the only thing that's left looks like to be the $100 cleaning green fee, which is
Well,
the
no, no.
$100 cleaning green
Fine
fee.
PTI, not clean and green.
Yes, it's as part of PTI, Your Honor.
There's a $100 fee.
There's a $100 fee that needs to be paid as part of the PTI. The cleaning
They
green.
do clean and green now as
It's a part of the
that
requirement.
PTI? What?
Yes, for the community. service,
Every person has to do clean and green now?
Your Honor.
Holy moly. That's why it's not set to, that's why, like earlier, is to May. Now I know. Wow.
And it looks like, I don't know if she.
Part of it.
So is every person going out to clean stuff on the side of the road?
I think so. I'm not sure if that can be waived in certain circumstances, but I think the default is yes.
Wow. Holy moly, I had no idea.
No.
So, no, I don't know. I mean, so you guys are not gonna send a contract out until that gets paid? Is that what it is?
Generally how it works, Your Honor. Looks like this note was from the 10th, so I'll send an email to defense counsel and be like, hey, we can get this rolling.
What? Are you Miss Davis?
Yes, I am.
Is this a club? No.
Y'all said pink is not good. Okay, that's what y'all want.
They've not done everything that they need to do for bottom page 11, right? So we need to wait on Kavita to find out when that's gonna get paid. I don't wanna, right, so I'm not ready to do it yet.
Okay, and
Okay.
Page 51, Thomas, it's a figures profile. Remanded until
Remand.
costs are satisfied?
Yeah. We had a lot of issues with this gentleman. Andy picked up a DWI third, so he's there regardless.
Okay, Thomas is.
Wow.
Oh, and then page 29, Judge, top of 29, Ramirez. Andrea was here to appoint on it.
What happened on that?
She needs to pay for the class before it goes to the certificate.
I mean, she just left without discussing it?
No, she had to go because Brian Garris was taking a
Right.
while. She said she was gonna go do something in Port 7 and she'd be back.
Okay, I don't know. I guess roll it. I don't know. I don't feel good. I'm ready to blow. I mean, how long have we reset this thing for that to happen?
She was set to finish the program in February. So, February 18th, I'm sorry.
Right, so what did we had said that if it's not done, we're setting it for trial? Is that what we had said?
Yeah. I think she checked this out.
So on December 19th, she was reset for January to review IOP completion status. Then on the next court date, which happened on February 3rd, you issued a removal for the scramble case.
Right, because of the money issue. Because of the money issue.
Completion of program, I emailed the vendors and stuff, and then get to receive a response.
Do we know whether it's completed and they're just holding it for payment? Do you know? Oh, you haven't received a response. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we need to figure out from them anyways, so I don't know. Guess roll.
Miranda went to go see if she was still in Port 7. Living on Kavita. Oh, Judge, who's the judge? James. Yeah.
Is that it?
Judge, just Andrea's case and Kavita, I can
Okay.
try calling her. But she has two.
Do we know what's on Messina? What's gonna happen?
I just got a response from DPD, Your Honor. Looks like they were still evaluating it, but there's a competency issue and they're not showing up to his comp eval.
I think they're going to, well, I mean, because I think there's no more jurisdiction, right? So I guess I'll let them know that there's no more jurisdiction.
It looks like, Your Honor.
Do you think that they're gonna take it to grand jury?
I don't want to put words in their mouth, Your Honor.
Oh, he has an open case with us anyway.
Right.
It's set for tomorrow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
sorry, if it's okay, just get me in here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just, I just don't want to put words in their mouth.
So I guess I'll have
Check the.
Victoria tell him to come back tomorrow because he's got court tomorrow anyways, and then we can discuss it further then. Yeah. Hey, Vic, so Mr. Messina has court tomorrow? Because he has an open assault for tomorrow. So,
Page 24?
yeah, I guess if you don't mind letting him know to come tomorrow. Hey,
Hi, she still doesn't have money to pay for remember last time I was here, she's done the IOP class, she just doesn't have the money to finish paying it. And until she's completely paid off.
how much does she owe?
How much money do you owe on the IOP class? $700?
She's living with mom and dad,
He's a
right?
student, Judge.
I get it, but we just can't keep it open indefinitely.
Said she needs a couple, like 2 or 3 more weeks and she can get the money.
Is that 100%? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to set for trial. So if it's not done,
That's 2 or 3 weeks is enough?
I mean, I'm going to set it for trial for that day. If it's not done, then she's going to trial. I don't
Judge,
know what else to do.
trial docket without wanting to go to trial.
What's her last name?
Ramirez, Carol Ramirez.
It's nearly 900 days old.
I know.
We've literally bent over backwards not to either put her in jail.
I know, Judge, but she did everything you asked her. She doesn't have the money. So I understand where you're coming from, but if we give her 2 or 3 weeks to come up with the money, if she doesn't come up with the money, then we'll go on the trial docket and we'll try it. But don't put me on.
I mean, there's just no sense in just putting it off for 3 weeks. It doesn't get done. Then we have to put it off for another 3
Well,
weeks.
because I don't
put it
want
on
to
the
put the trial if we're not going to trial. I already have a bunch of trials set that I don't want to have to prep if we're not really going to trial, because I'm not going to show up trial date hoping that she
Come on,
paid
Ms.
her
Ramirez.
fees. I'm gonna have to be ready to go to trial if she didn't pay her fees. So if we come back in 3 weeks.
We can't keep doing what we're doing. Your case is about to hit 900 days old, and we just can't. We've literally, because at some point it now becomes that I'm helping you, and I can't do that, right? I can't curry favor on anyone. I have to be fair to you. I got to be fair to the state, and I think that we've gone above and beyond, and we can't do it anymore. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt. You've got 3 weeks to get it paid off. If it's not done within that time, I'm going to set your case for trial. We can't. We have to put a time limit on it. We're now hitting 900 days old. It's unreasonable to continue what we're doing. And, it's just not. So we will set this case off for 3 weeks, exactly 3 weeks from today.
Okay.
So that's March 17th. Okay. It's that, that's the absolute last thing for this thing to get dismissed, right?
Yes.
If it's not done, I'm setting it for trial. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
I just don't have, I can't just keep resetting it. No, we've already done 5 million resets. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
got it.
We're just like.
Just where Declan Morales, last name Declan Morales.
Yo te voy a traducir, ¿ok?
Delcid.
Del Cid.
You know what Elcid means?
No, what?
King, the king.
In what language?
Is it Tagalog?
Apenas.
Huh.
So Delcid Morales.
Del Cid.
Morales.
Morales.
On bond for an assault or bodily injury. You've now picked up a terroristic threat
También
causing serious bodily injury. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Let me express my disappointment with the new case. That really just, you now, because of this,
esto.
have now garnered an ICE hold.
Tienes una orden de inmigración.
What happened on the new case, Luis?
Yes, Your Honor. On
Dice-
February
dice
21st,
20
2025,
febrero.
officers were dispatched to a disturbance at 14,000 Ella Boulevard, number 1608, which is an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas. The caller, the complainant, stated that 3 Hispanic males were threatening to come back with guns and that they are still on the scene. The officers arrived and observed the 3 Hispanic males sitting at the bottom of a stairwell leading up to the caller's apartment. When they saw the officers, he began to walk away. The officers yelled to stop, and 2 out of the 3 men returned. The 3rd male continued to walk away and disregarded all orders to stop. The complainant came out and she stated that she got into a verbal argument with a juvenile male and female who were loitering on the stairs leading up to her apartment while she was trying to go up those stairs.
Escalones cuando ella trataba de subir los escalones de ir a su apartamento.
She stated that no threats were made at that time and she walked to her apartment.
Cuando fue a su apartamento.
But when she walked
Pero
to
cuando
her apartment, she saw on
llegó a
her
su apartamento,
doorbell security camera
vio en
that the
la
juvenile male was
seguridad
making gang
cámara
signs and threatening gestures at
estaban
her
haciendo
towards her
muestras de pandillas
doorway.
y amenazas, y muestras así de amenazas ahí en la puerta.
The complainant then came back out and
El-
scolded the juvenile
que
male,
antes
stated in
salió de
Spanish.
empezando a llamar la atención a
We are
los
not in your country
muchachos,
anymore and you can't
diciendo
do
que no
anything to me
estás
here.
en mi
You are a little
país
kid and you need to
y
go
no
home to
puedes
your
hacer
parents.
esto aquí, que tienes que irte a tu casa con tus padres.
The juvenile male stated, you can't
El
talk to me like
juvenil
that
me
and I'm
dijo,
gonna call
no
my
puedes
brother.
llamarme, hablarme así, voy a llamar a mi hermano.
The defendant, the brother, arrived on
acusado
scene and began
vino
yelling at the complainant,
y
telling her to
empezaste a
watch how she
gritarle
talks to her brother.
a ella,
So that's him.
diciéndole
Yes,
que
the brother.
cuidado, que la manera que estaba hablando con
The
mi
complainant
hermano.
responded, again, we're not in
Ella
your country
dijo
anymore
que
and
no
you
estás
can't do
en tu
gang stuff
país y
here,
no
so
puedes
leave me
hacer
alone.
cosas de pandilla aquí, déjame en paz.
The defendant then stated, we'll
El
see about that
acusado
when you
dijo,
hear the
vamos a
shots,
ver,
and made a gun
y
gesture with his
después
hand pointing
cuando
at the
oigas el
complainant
tiro y
and
hiciste
began
una
to mimic
muestra
the
como si
sound of
ibas a dispararle
gunfire. That was a threat.
con una,
She began,
And that's,
un dedo.
yes.
Y ese
And
fue
then
el señor del
she was fearful for her life and
Ella tenía
retreated
miedo
into the
y
apartment
dijo,
complex.
entró a su apartamento.
The officers
oficiales
were able to review both security cameras
Vieron
and video
la cámara de
footage from the, and
seguridad
cell phone footage of the
y
incident.
el otro video del incidente.
Mr. Dell said, I'm going to find that there's enough probable cause to go forward with your case.
Porque
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person in this case and not to be in possession of any weapons.
con este caso, no la hables, no la llames y no tengas en posesión ningún arma o arma de fuego.
You understand?
¿Entendió las condiciones?
Normally, what we do when someone picks up a case is that we revoke the bond on the first case. However, because you have an ICE detainer, I don't know if that's really.
I didn't catch the last part, Judge.
Because there's an ICE detainer as it is, I don't know if that's.
I'm gonna try to figure out your situation. I would ask that it not be revoked. That's.
Voy a tratar de averiguar la situación de inmigración.
We asked that it would be, Your Honor. The
I
complainant
mean,
also mentioned that she saw a black hand grip of that which she believed to be a handgun.
she saw him with a gun.
Yes, Your
Ella
Honor.
dice ahora que te
They-
vio con un arma.
On his waistband, she didn't see the entire gun, but she did believe.
She saw a
it
handle?
was a handgun, yes, Your
Dice
Honor.
que vio que tenías un arma metido en
Judge, I don't think the
en la
revocation is
cinta.
gonna make a difference if there's conditions in place. The conditions will protect the complaining party.
And Mr. Morales,
Bueno, sí,
or
amor.
Mr. Dell said,
Sí,
I don't know if you're gonna get out now.
no sé si vas a poder
Try to
salir.
warn every single person when you come here, be very,
Le digo
very
a todas las
careful
personas,
because when you are not in this country with permission,
cuando estás
there are
aquí sin
very
permiso,
serious consequences,
consecuencias
as you now see.
sí, pues ya arrestan. Y te lo dije.
I'll agree with you. I'll leave the bond as is.
Puedes dejar la fianza como
However, I
Pero-
don't know what's gonna happen with you now
no sé lo que va a pasar contigo
because
ahora,
of the immigration detainer. But if you do get out,
que tengas. Pero si
you will
sales,
have very serious
vas a tener
conditions.
acciones muy
I'm
serias.
going to put a GPS monitor on you,
Ponerte un monitor
and I don't want you anywhere near this complaining witness
que vaya
or the complaining witness on your open assault case. You're not to be in possession of any weapons, and I'm going to give you a curfew. Do you understand? You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I will randomly test you.
Voy a hacer muestras de orina.
As it stands now with the ICE detainer, I mean, just, I guess reach out, see what's gonna happen with that.
Él va a averiguar.
Okay.
Podemos hacer.
Thank you, Judge.
Morales, good luck.
Buena suerte.
So we can hold off?
No, get the conditions in because, you know, they can always make an immigration bond. Wait,
Sure.
if you're going, we need him to sign. Thank you. That's it, I think, hopefully. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
But understand, I live stream, so just be careful, okay? So for what it's worth.
Yes, sir.
I think we're done after that, right?
We did file three.
Hold on, I'm taking.
Judge, did you
Good.
want 7
Yeah.
to 7 or 9 to 6?
7 to 7.
Okay.
Hey, wait, did Kavita want to talk about anything?
Yes, she's gonna do a plea on Castillo in the back.
Spanish?
No, no, it's Kavita's case.
No? Okay.
This one.
We do
That's good. What's your last one?
I got you. I think that's it.
Hey, Kavita.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Yeah, can we get it done? I don't feel good. I'm ready to go.
He's coming from the, whenever they're ready for him, we'll bring him out. You do sound bad, Judge.
On all three.
We're still working on it.
Is it 3-2 on all of them?
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, okay.
Would you like a cough drop?
No,
I have,
that's really nice though.
I have
Thanks.
some,
Is it laced?
kind of. It has the
No.
inside of that,
Honey?
yes.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll grab you one.
Thanks. That's nice. God knows we all need it now. Everybody's, you know? Thanks. I'll eat it when we're done.
Judge, can I just say, she's been calling up here trying to figure out.
Data Davis, she's a DW.
Yeah, that's right. We need to talk.
Approved, everything is, 2 hours is done. The only thing that I think I'm missing is her insurance, and I understand now.
And,
it's
and $100 fee.
$100. Can we do a little reset for her to get that paid, please?
What?
The reset for her to get that paid.
She had
How
a
long do you need?
PR bond, right?
Failed to appear. 3 weeks should be good, Judge.
How old is it? It's 204 days now.
I didn't realize it was that old, Judge.
Yeah.
2 weeks then?
Okay. If it's not done, then let her know I'm sending it for trial.
Okay, sounds good.
How much time do?
2 weeks. Can you apply for that to have it waived?
I don't know if the DAs are doing that, but I will
You know if
definitely
they're,
ask.
Kinsey, are they waiving that fee?
The cleaning fee?
The clean and green fee? Do they waive it if you apply?
I don't think so.
But we'll find a way.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I guess ask, you know, but if that's what she's gonna do, like,
Yeah, she's definitely gonna do that. We'll find a way. Mr. Sada and I will help her out if need be.
We could be there for 2 weeks. Does March 10 sound good to you?
Can I do March 11?
Yes.
Thanks.
just if she's gonna apply to try to do it, just like now.
Yes, Judge.
So, because it takes a couple of weeks, you know.
Right, that's what we're gonna do. She's gonna come back to my office and we'll go over it.
Davis? Jada?
There's a website that she has to register. To do clean and green, right?
We'll get you to sign for your reset.
Yeah, but she didn't sign.
Okay.
Tamina, can you please sign?
Oh.
March 11.
Give me a moment to select the bills from you.
He was allegedly here. Back. I don't want you to go anywhere where young children con.
There you go. You're free to go.
I'll make sure we're firing now because check if he's not getting that.
Everything's there. Okay, thank you.
Davis, did you need to talk?
No, I can't.
Okay, just have a seat. We should go.
Remember, yes, Judge, no judge, okay?
Good morning, Mr. Castillo.
There you go.
Mr. Castillo, you have 3 open cases. You have 2 theft cases and evading arrest. On the evading arrest, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. And on the theft cases, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Both of these cases are enhanceable cases, meaning that if you pick up another one of these cases, because all of these are going on your record now, a third theft case, you're facing a felony charge. A second evading arrest, you're also facing a felony charge. So you pick up any more of these cases after today, I know you're saying no, but you never know what's going to happen, but you need to know what the consequence is. And you ever pick up one of these cases again in the future, you're looking at a felony charge on each of those cases. Do you understand? So you give up a lot of rights by entering into these agreements. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty to these offenses, they will all go on your record. They will be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. Do you understand? Do you still want to do these? How do you plead to the offense of 2 counts of theft and 1 count of evading arrest? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I will follow the agreement, sentence you to 3 days in jail on each of the cases, give you 2 days credit on each of the cases. I think he's got more credit than that, no?
He has 7 on one and then 2 on the other 2.
But it's all written as 3-2 anyways.
Well, no, one's 3 for 7 and the other 2 at the.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you have 7 days credit on the one ending in 911. And then you have 2 on the others. So it looks like you're done today, but you gotta be careful, man. Next time, you're looking at years instead of days. You understand?
I understand, sir.
Okay, man. If it's enhanced, it'll be abandoned, and good luck, you're charged with possession of marijuana. On all the cases you plead, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say cannot be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you can. We're done?
Judge, page 34. PA series also appears and the BBR was followed.
On white?
White. Salmon.
5,001.
Oh,
Did you say both?
DO. Because there was a BBR file too, I didn't know if that mattered or
No. No.
you're gonna wait to address it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it then.
All right, guys, we're done.